Let's go, guys. Are you excited? Hearts in the chat. We're going to start in 5 minutes from now. Gukesh is on your screen here, guys. The world champion Domaraju Gukesh is here. He takes his score sheet. Why did the time change from 1 a.m. guys? We have no clue. Today we are starting at 11 p.m. And joining me all the way from the bedroom is the one and only
Amruta. Hello everyone, how are you doing?
Hello Amruta, how are you?
Yes, we thought कि चलो सो जाते हैं, but then the timing was changed and we have Pragg versus Gukesh.
Yes, and guys, a warm welcome to everyone here. Hello.
Hi! So it's 11 p.m. and guys get ready to stay up to study, work, everything along with us. तो मजा आएगा.
Yes, we are going to have a lot of
Echo.
fun. We're going to have a lot of fun today because we are having this amazing event that we have, the Sinquefield Cup, and a lot of you would be like, oh my god, when did this happen? When was this going to take place? Well guys, it starts from today, right now. It's happening in USA. It's actually roughly around 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon over there. And we have the players who are playing here, Amruta. These are the players who are taking part in this event. We have Gukesh, Caruana, Praggnanandhaa, Firouzja, Wesley So, Aronian, Duda, MVL, and Sevian. And guys, it's a 9-round classical event. And there's a lot to play for, Amruta. There is a lot of things at stake. And I believe it will be super important for Gukesh to play well here. And we have everything well set up, guys. The board is here. We'll soon have the bars here. And it's very important for all of us, all of you to know, low volume.
Volume issues. Everyone's saying that.
How is it?
Check once. Is this good? Echoing. Echo to chala gaya na, guys? Is it fine now? Check the audio. It sounds off. Okay, any change right now? Hello.
Yeah, it should be fine, Amruta. I think we have it.
It's gone. Okay, fine.
I think.
Good now. Good now.
Guys.
And maybe your sound is slightly lower, so maybe we can put this a little bit like. You can do it.
And there we have Praggnanandhaa joining in, Amruta. Pragg and Gukesh both are here. And how is it that every time they play each other in a classical event, they're paired against each other in round 1 itself? So it's amazing. Guys, this is going to be a super exciting clash. We have both of them here. Pragg has the white pieces. Look at Gukesh calming himself down. And why is this event important? I can show you that exactly here we have top 4 players who will qualify to GCT finals. And in the middle row, you will see the GCT points. 28 for MVL, 23.5 for Aronian, 22 for Firouzja, 20 to Caruana. And Pragg has 20 and Gukesh has 16. So actually, whoa, and we have had handshake and a lift off already. What is the first move that Pragg's going to play here? Okay. Let's see, guys, how this game turns up. Guys, my voice is okay or is it breaking? माइक के पास जाओ सागर भाई.
और थोड़ा बेंड कर लो.
Hello. Okay now. Amruta, Pragg is thinking for a long time. He's not making his move yet.
Oh, first move. Whether he's gonna play e4 or d4. Okay, he answers d4. खेल चुके हैं. Praggnanandhaa. First round, you asked the right question. Pragg versus Gukesh every single time. How?
Knight comes
I
out.
think it is because like so many people are so curious to see their game
I'm so
that the
excited.
tournament एकदम शुरू में ही like it starts exploding.
Pawn
So
to c4.
Guess which opening, Sagar? What do you think? Chat. Nimzo Indian, Ragozine, Queen's Indian. क्या बोलते हो, Sagar?
Yeah, I don't know, Amruta. Let's see what happens here.
QGD incoming, King's Indian. टिका टका टकलू सिंह. सागर भाई खुश लग रहा है आज.
Oh, knight to c3 played.
Grunfeld, Queen's Gambit declined. अच्छा, Nimzo Indian. Let's go Nimzo Indian. अरे वो तो फेवरेट है सबका. I love how the chat knows so many openings, Sagar.
Yeah, chat is insane, Amruta. They are all strong players. You should never underestimate the chat. And by the way,
Absolutely. Yeah. Do we have only one camera? Yes, right now we have only one camera.
No, we
Gukesh
have
and Pragg,
two
but
actually.
tomorrow.
Of both these players, but because they are playing against each other, we have only one.
Oh, yeah. Stream. Is it lagging for everyone or not really? Nehal in the chat says the OG commentary duo is here.
Nehal bhai, कैसे हो?
ठीक है, but knight c3, and guys, this is going to be a classical game. I think in the recent times we have been seeing a lot of rapids and blitz as well. But Chennai Grandmaster was classical, but it had after 40 moves no increment. This one has increment after 40 moves. Oh, bishop b4 Nimzo. How many of you in the chat play Nimzo Indian? Guys, this is one common opening which Sagar also played, I also played, and we both love it. And I think you had great results.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, it's something that I have loved a lot. And I'll tell you what Pragg will do now, Amruta.
Yes.
He will play pawn to a3 if he's in an aggressive mood.
Okay.
But he's not. He plays the more positional
E3.
e3.
And you used to play e3 as well with white also because you played d4. Remember?
Yes.
In fact, we also had our tournament game with it.
Yes, I used to play e3 exclusively. It's called the Rubinstein system. Kiba Rubinstein used to play it. And now most likely Gukesh will castle. It's the main move. Although with black pieces, I really loved to play the move c5 here.
c5. Also, you can start with d5. That's true. But eventually, basically, you're going to put your pawns on c5 and d5. And there will be the exchanges happening over here. Then you're going to put the queen over here, the knight over here. Maybe 5 ideas. So...
अमृता कितना आगे जा रहे हो?
ठीक है, इतना भी आगे जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. But guys, I think we are looking at Nimzo Indian after a long time because generally nowadays Nimzo Indian is avoided by white. In a way, we can say anti-Nimzo Indian is something which we were seeing a lot. But Pragg going into Nimzo, what does it say? Like, is he having a novelty in his pocket?
I think he just wants a fighting game of chess.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wants to play something which Gukesh may not have been super well prepared with. As you can see, Gukesh is already in his thinking pose and just something fresh, Amruta. That's his plan. That's what Pragg wants to do. And
I think also for Gukesh, many times, like we have discussed, like he has so many openings to play and also so many deviations. So he's thinking which one. And it's always a decision. Sometime he will have to use the opening time, but must take care that he doesn't get lost into, how much time he's consuming in the opening.
yeah,
Dekhte. But Naman is saying, Sagar bhai, you seem so happy because you no longer have to miss Amruta. Is
yes.
that true?
Agreed, Amruta. I'm feeling so good sitting next to you and commentating. Maza hi aa raha hai. And
Kya
Gukesh,
baat hai.
Amruta drinking water. Can we also have some water for ourselves?
Ah, yes. Take some water. Tension ही नहीं है. How many of you knew that today this stream is happening? I mean, today Gukesh versus Pragg is happening. And that too at this time. Oh, a lot of people in the chat, by the way, are very happy with Nimzo Indian on the board. It's a very solid opening. In fact, from black side, if you want to play Nimzo, like if you are, many people keep asking which is the opening I should choose. This one definitely is worth considering. You will improve a lot of your understanding related with the major imbalance of bishop and knight, because most of the times it does the imbalance a few times.
Yes.
So you have very good opening to learn.
And guys, we had a very small lag. We've changed the internet connection, so maybe everything should be fine now. And right now, Amruta, Gukesh taking his time. He's like, what is the move that I should play? Maybe we can ask our viewers, what is the move that you guys would play in this position as black? What would you do?
It's wow, really? I mean, that is 4 minutes. Pretty huge for that matter. Short castle, b6, d5. Wow, we have chat chess moves after a long time.
Yes, we have the chat chess moves and the move.
Ashwin says just got a notification and was surprised. I hope it was a pleasant one. Nahi to it was like, अरे और एक स्ट्रीम प्रग गुकेश आई कांट मिस इट बट आई प्लान टू स्लीप बट नहीं यार अभी तो जाग ही देता हूँ. C5 queen.
Amruta, Gukesh is sleeping actually.
Yeah. Did you think that this time when you had traveled to US you had a crazy jet lag, Sagar?
But
but Gukesh is in US since St. Louis.
Yeah, Gukesh is the one who would definitely have gotten used to it. Pragg is the one who actually traveled a little late. He did not play the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz, and he played the He's playing the Sinquefield Cup. And Amruta, look at Gukesh, the amount of focus that he has. He's thinking about what is the move he should play, and he's trying to recollect his preparation and so on, because Pragg does not play e3 often, I believe.
Yeah, I also think, and normally top level, as we have seen, that they are not allowing Nimzo so easily, and that too, if they allow Nimzo, I don't think E3 is the variation they are going with.
Yeah.
So maybe one main line which we should definitely show everyone. And Siddhant in the meantime is saying, tomorrow I have my physics exam, but I can't afford to miss this clash. But what are you going to answer to your physics teacher? Naishad is saying Guki is saving his energy for the World Championship. He's not sleeping.
There is a long time to go for World Championship, guys. Abhi to World Championship is more than a year away.
RCB is like, Amruta, Babi, please one joke. अरे बहुत jokes आएंगे आगे, spontaneity पे आएंगे, you know. नहीं अभी preparation नहीं. अभी one joke definitely I will prepare only for Vidit, so that next time मैं खुद के reputation का सत्यानाश कर दूँ, ना कर दूँ. Sorry. What a slip of tongue. Cuckoo is saying horse moves in L shape. We can say vector quantity. ठीक है, फिजिक्स सीखना पड़ेगा.
Look at Gukesh Amruta. He not only is taking time, he's looking here and there. I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm going to make a bold prediction that Gukesh is going to play something truly offbeat here. Maybe a move like
No.
h6 he will play.
No way, because here every move matters. I think he's gonna simply go for either short castle, d5, c5. I mean, finally they convert into the same thing. Do you want to show the main line, by the way? I also want to read this comment by Tejas, who says, Bhai, I got good marks in communication due to Harshit Bhai's tip. Remember during freestyle.
What tip?
I don't know what was the tip, but
Guys,
he
all
got
those
good
who are
marks.
wishing me for my match with India USA, thank you so much.
लक्ष्य इज सेइंग, सागर भाई मजा आ गया आपकी स्ट्रीम देखकर, आपने उस दिन दिल तोड़ दिया था ये बोलकर कि नहीं करेंगे सिंकफील्ड कप की स्ट्रीम.
अरे sorry.
बाप रे, दिल ही टूट गया.
Actually, I got a call from Harshit Bhai at some point and he said, Sagar Bhai, how is it that you are not streaming? You know, like it cannot be. And so then we took it very seriously and then we decided to do it.
Food is saying, this tournament started at the right moment. My exams are starting and I will no more feel alone while late night studying.
क्या बात है दोस्तों, we have 2569 believers. ठीक है, ये टूर्नामेंट के एंड तक एक छोटा सा एम रखते हैं, 2600 बिलीवर्स पहुंचने की कोशिश करते हैं. विल ट्राई टू रीच 2600. दैट्स 31 मोर बिलीवर्स on helpchess.org. So if you want to support young talents and do something for the future prodigies of Indian chess, please do check out helpchess.org. We have Ravi Kumar Kandregul who had contributed last. And Ayush has sent a super chat. Thank you so much, Ayush.
Ooh,
Castles.
why we had to move castle?
And Amruta, now I have to check what did our chat chess moves and our chat guess here, because how many of them got castles here?
Very few. 5 ही
4.
थे अभी.
Rudrashish, Mondal, Dynamatron, the Messi and Preeti D. Well done, guys. So all of you have found this move d5, castles, and that has been played. And Pragg, I'm assuming, will quickly come back and play the move bishop to d3. So there are two moves now, guys. Bishop d3. There is one more move, knight f3. So bishop d3, knight f3 can interchange. But there's also knight g2. This was one of my favorite weapons, Amruta. I used to play. And
where would you put your bishop from f1?
I would push a3 first. Let's see if Pragg also plays this.
Yeah, and I want to see how much time Pragg is going to take. No time. 0 seconds. Literally.
Bishop d3.
Okay, 8 minutes by Gukesh, which were used now. d5 there very quickly. Next few moves may happen fatafat. And while they're happening, Sagar, we also have
Chris Shaji sending 10 memberships. Thank you, Chris.
अरे क्या बात है.
Thank you so much, guys. We are going to soon write an article. We've chosen 9 players for last year's memberships to give laptops. 9 laptops. We raised 8,50,000. So we got 9 laptops. Thanks to all of you for giving 9 talents laptops through these membership money.
Exactly. So this is all, getting like something like being wholesome thing. बहुत मजा आ रहा है, guys. Yag is saying, I'm a beginner. Which opening should I learn first? If you're a beginner, you should definitely not learn openings right now.
Or just if you have to learn something, then you can learn e4, e5. I think that's the safest, simplest.
Yeah, that's what the world advises generally.
And also we have Satish Kumar says it seems someone forgot his promise to Gukesh. है ना सागर भाई? I think during Tata Steel Chess India I had done some promise to him, right? That I'll become a GM or something. I don't know.
Huh, yeah? What is it?
I had said like I will become a GM and make him proud or something.
Really? कुछ तो हो ही जाएगा सपने में वगैरह सागर जीएम. और कौन सा चांस है? Otherwise you have to completely, if at all ऐसा. Which scenario do you see yourself? becoming a grandmaster?
I don't know. And let's not think about all this. Peace says, instead of laptop, do you think some chess books, lessons, or subscriptions of learning would be better? So the thing is, strong chess players need laptops very heavily these days, with preparation, with using courses, attending coaching sessions, all of it. Laptop is a super huge part of a professional chess player's life, and many of the players. So in our application, we had people giving their picture of the early laptop they had. So some had laptops which are like 10 years old. Their laptop was completely broken and so on. So I'm pretty sure that your support is going to be very important.
क्या बात है? We have JEE main tips for 2023 says Aronian due to recent form qualified two candidates.
Not yet, but he could potentially.
Yeah. Big chances because if the momentum goes on, he has a very important tournament upcoming, Grand Swiss. And that could be the main thing. देखते हैं क्या होएगा. But while Gukesh, I am not right now understanding why Gukesh is thinking, because normally they play bishop takes c3. They double the pawns with b takes c3 over here. After a3 has come, you don't have bishop a3.
Amruta, this is that famous line. I will ask our chat. I don't know how many very knowledgeable players here, but there is this famous game that had happened in this line. Something like this, or yeah. Do you know which is this famous game between which two players has happened? And it's actually the hint is in the series called Learn from Chess Classics on ChessBase India. This is the first game.
You know, that was in the very initial years of our dating. This was the game you had shown me.
Really?
Yeah. So funny.
Not Anand Carlsen. It's actually very famous.
Electro Kid says, Sagar bhai, I'm currently nearing 1000 just on my intuition. I don't know any opening or good endgame. Please recommend what should be my focus. Intuition.
No, I think in general it's a good idea to keep working on your tactics right now at this phase to get even stronger. And maybe one thing that I can highly recommend is Chess Ranga. It's a very good one. There's the link in the description. You can go there and solve. Yes, Tushar Barua is the first one who got it. Botvinnik versus Capablanca, Amruta.
Wow. I did not remember the names though, but नाम में क्या रखा है? Concept में है ना सागर?
Coming back to Amruta at this position. Oh, we have had Amruta 4 people contributing on Help Chess.
Arey, let's go. Let's check who all contributed and
Because we
read their
started at
names aloud.
2569. Now we are 2573. Divesh Kumar 1000. Thank you. Vedant 100. Thank you. Praful Meena 501. Thank you. SD 100. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
2573 हो गया. So you're saying 2600 करना है. That's great.
And I think Amruta Gukesh is a bit confused between taking the knight or going back bishop e7. Thank you so much, SD, for sending one membership. The thing is, if you go back bishop e7, knight f3.
Normally, you would be worried about c5 now because of b6. There's also b4, and for a5 you have in time bishop b2.
Yeah, Amruta, in general, I'm not a big fan of this. Let's say, for example, b6 or maybe knight d7. A fan of this move c5 because, you know, the thing is, black always gets some counterplay with either b6 or e5 break. So maybe it's not the best move.
But why is Gukesh thinking? Because there's 15 minutes in the opening, which definitely he knows the opening.
Yeah.
So there's not even a question of any novelty and all. And
he's just recollecting his analysis.
Yeah, but this one is not going to help him. Because if at all it reaches any critical position, it's different. Or Sometimes you're just confident that you know the lines from black, how to equalize such an opening. Um, and maybe you're trying to find the best, fighting line from black. That could be a possibility. वो भी देखते हैं. But the chat is so active today. We already have more than 2,500 people over here, which is so cool because even we didn't know there would be a stream until maybe 10 o'clock or something. So it's really amazing to see all of you over here. What is the format? It's a classical format. Schedule is, I think it ends on 27th. 27th or 28th, but I would confirm which of the dates. Yeah, Pragg would have prepared the opening definitely well. I mean, recently Pragg's openings have been amazing. For his opening, who is helping him, guys? Maybe. Let's see how many of you in the chat remember. I'm a 1500 FIDE rated player. What should I play against e4? As Sagar suggested, e4, e5. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Definitely good. But on the side, you can start playing c5 because the kind of understanding you get also from Sicilian must have. Yes, all those who said Vaibhav Suri. Absolutely true. So Pragg has been well prepared since quite some time now, and we have to see in classical year in this tournament, at least at this game, did he go into Nimzo Indian because he has some novelty? And this is something maybe Gukesh is also thinking that normally this is something you avoid. Maybe Pragg hasn't played this for a while or allowed this. And now, if he's allowing, what is it that he would be having on his sleeve? Oh, he takes D takes C4 here. Oh my god, what is this move?
Wow.
What is this move?
Wow.
Okay, guys, there's one interesting move here for white. Can you try to guess? CCM, Sagar, do we have it?
It's a little bit offbeat, yes, the move. By the way, Pragg comes back, and will he blitz out his move? Yes, he does.
And no, he did not go for that offbeat move. But dekhte. Oh yeah, but so many of the people did guess that. Rupam, Ruhan, Nikhil, Greek gift. The only difference is that you take on h7 so that you are getting that dark square bishop as well. Because Greek gift ke liye there is no knight, there's no queen coming together.
Amrita, now he can play your line. Bishop c3, bc3,
c5.
c5. Actually, there are two moves.
Knight e2 and knight f3, correct.
And we used to play this line a lot, remember?
Yeah, a lot of practice games.
And then I would go bishop.
You had a choice between.
Actually,
normally,
bishop d3 is a big mistake. Can I ask the viewers?
ये move order में problem है.
हाँ, मतलब I used to, I think, play bishop a2 or
queen c2 पे होता था, if I remember correctly. Bishop.
Guys, what's the problem here? Black to play.
ये तो सिंपल है. चैट को तो ऐसे ही आ जाएगा सागर. Ridya says, I just sat to study. Looks like I won't doze off today. Not at all. If we have such a...
Oh, Amrita, look at our chat. Is so unbelievably not right.
मैं बोला ये क्या हो रहा है? Chat is so strong, but then the chat is not at all right.
Look at this. Guys, only 4 of you got it right. Anjali Gupta, Gagan, S. Nishant, Mukherjee, Sujay Balu, Abhijit and Daksh. But the major number of people actually, Amrita, were saying
c4. Okay, let's try to understand why everybody felt like
that's such a
c4.
bad move because after bishop c2, e4 is coming.
पूरा ही रोस्ट किया. Yeah, and both
So
the
the
bishops
idea
are
was to
open.
take,
C3 is hanging,
and
no
after
guys?
take,
It was a hanging pawn.
check. Very important move.
And if
Threatening.
bishop d2, then you block the defense of the d3 bishop. So queen takes d3, simple.
Amruta, I want to quickly check this entire line on Chessbase and Mega Database to see how many times has this happened. Should we do that?
Yes, you should, because I'm also very curious, because my question is, when did Pragg play allow Nimzo as well last? A lot
So
of
guys, here
questions.
we have all the...
Yeah. And you know, Sagar, today we have 3,000 people already.
Wow.
They're watching at the last moment. I'm तो thinking maybe not to announce only a stream. Direct ही डाल देने का.
अरे अरे ऐसे क्या कर रहे हो? E3 has guys 96,700 games on the Chessbase and live database.
And has Pragg played it? Let's have a look at White say.
Pragg.
Random things is saying Pragg is wearing Team Liquid and IMC logo. Is it? Okay, we will look again, but highly possible.
Yeah,
In fact,
Pragg has played with Marty Rosian.
how
1
long
year.
ago? Not bad, but only one game. Yeah, and what did he do over there?
Let me see if from P I can find more games.
No, एक ही बार रहेगा ना.
Oh, he's played many times, Amruta. Sam Sevian, Neiman,
Aronian also.
Predke.
No, that was black.
Sorry.
Yeah, Aronian.
Aronian.
So he went for just quick.
Hey, एक मिनट क्या कर रहे हो?
नहीं, मैंने सिर्फ ओपनिंग नाइट ऑफ 3 पे क्या खेला या नहीं.
So BD3, D5, A3, and we had 3695 games, Amruta. 2974 games have continued by taking. And here only 382 games D takes C4.
So D takes C4 थोड़ा सा offbeat है क्या? Move order for the move order. Yeah, that is true. That's why Bishop h7 में वही बोली कि we never like knew like Bishop h7 type of a move
Oh, by the way,
existed.
Amruta, Gukesh played few moves. We have
Oh, they
some
exchanged
moves
the queens
on the
or
board.
what?
Yes, we have some moves on the board. Knight f3. So it happened bishop e7. Let me go to the main here. Knight f3. Pawn came up to c5. And now Praggnanandhaa castled a6. And he very quickly took. Gukesh captured the queen. Rook takes. And now bishop takes c5. And Gukesh is very, very calmly sitting there. I like this position for Pragg. I must say, guys, this is an excellent position in my opinion.
Why do you say so? Because there is a symmetry in the pawn structure. Queens are exchanged. So, can you explain?
Yeah, I think Amruta, the thing is, this bishop is a bit passive. So right now it's blocked. I can go b4, bishop b2, finish my development. This b6 point could become potentially weak a little bit.
Don't forget, you also have b3 in the similar way. Knight c6, knight a5 and all.
Yeah, but it takes slightly more time. And here time is of the essence. Also, there's this very nice plan of knight d2, bishop e2, knight c4. Looking at these two squares.
And then your development is way better. Maybe, and also Pragg right now has like 18 minutes more on the clock. So if he's better prepared, if this is slight initiative, as of now, definitely it is tilting towards Pragg to, start, maybe not start pressing because they would still be in the opening, I would say. But to continue with this initiative. And my only thing is, because Gukesh thought like he could have entered such a position, maybe with more time in hand, that does become a dangerous situation somewhere.
Sometimes, yes. But Amrita, sometimes this position is simplified enough so you don't have to worry.
Oh. Sakar is saying instead of d takes c5, Naka played queen e2 against Gukesh himself.
Oh,
And when was that, Sagar?
candidates, I think.
Yes, Thiru Arul is like, hello Amrita, do you remember in the IMC Simul event? Absolutely, I remember it was one of the epic ones. We will be soon releasing a video about that Simul because it was one of the, I've never witnessed such a Simul, so very cool what Pragg did over there. Too good. Oh yeah, I also want to see whether, yeah,
The एक second में आया.
absolutely. 30-second increment too much, not needed from first move. But it does help a lot in time pressure. You know, the quality of the moves change so much, and we've seen this again and again when there is a blitz game, when there is rapid, the whole kind of, how the meter flips. So, totally. Is 18 years age way too late to get like 2000 above rating? Oh, no, 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 no. If you talk about 2000, then definitely not. You can keep working and possible. But people who ask, can I become a grandmaster? That statistically becomes much more like very, very difficult. But still, nothing is impossible. Manish says, Sagar bro, do you remember 2014 Sinquefield when Fabi did 7-0 to start the tournament when his opponents were Magnus, Hikaru, MVL, Topalov, Levon? Wow, 2014. Maybe. I don't know if Sagar would remember or not. I don't remember. But it's a nice fact you've mentioned over here. Bishop e2 played by Pragg and he is not on the board right now, roaming around. He didn't even take much time, just 2 minutes. And okay, but the question is, oh, he knows his lines because it's the top move which is being played. And we do have quite, not many games in fact, quite less. Why did the bishop go back? So that now if b5, which is not attacking the bishop over here, then for white, what does he want to do with this move over here? Then you want to shift the bishop on this long diagonal over here. So you want to move the knight from f3. The knight can either go to d4, knight d4, because this is also a weak square. And if black develops the bishop on b7, stop, like bishop f3 is not as dangerous now, then this knight wants to kick this bishop on c5. You see, constantly there are threats for black. And if you try to go to a7 or something, then over here, I will ask you guys a question. What is a good move for white? Can you find a good move for white? I don't know how easy or tough I would call this, but let's see. We will get to know. Rohit says, I remember 2014. I watched all those matches on Agad Matter's channel. That is so cool. Yeah, Agad Matter, who has been since, I don't know, since ages, the very, very first one who would be doing these videos. Helped so many players. Wow, we already got 16 people giving the right answer there. We have Avik, Mridmoy, Ryan, Hardik, Arijit, Dynamite, Tron, Ria, Jay, Radio, Daksh, and yeah, almost 20 people. So well done there. This is the right move. Knight a5. बोर्ड कहाँ पे गया? हाँ इधर है. So knight a5, and look at this knight which started from f3, which is actually well placed, and here goes to d4 in the center. From the center again comes back and then goes to the edge of the board, Yet it's a great idea, because the point is that you are still trying to fight for this beautiful diagonal by attacking this bishop. So Pragg knows this, and maybe, if at all, I doubt if Gukesh would not know such an idea, or is it possible to not know? Because definitely you can miss it. Bishop e2 going back, and he should b5 is still possible, and for knight d4 I think it will be important to not develop the bishop on b7. It would be a big mistake in that case. That should be avoided. Otherwise, it's definitely possible. Another idea would be to develop your knight simply to c6 here, and then for white, as Sagar had showed later, there would be knight a4 ideas, maybe b4, bishop b2. So a slight edge for Pragg, and Gukesh using his time, 22 minutes low on time. Then Pragg, it's move number 12th. So as of now, you can say that for 40 move rule, there are 28 moves more to be made, and it does seem like a long time. But if every single move he will think a lot, then that can create a lot of trouble. He should avoid. What about e4, e5 in the current position? You mean if knight c6, e4 with the idea of e5. Okay, if you play e4, you are exposing your f2 pawn to this beautiful bishop which is sitting there, and the knight is going to jump and attack the f2 guy. You may not want that. So also, otherwise also black will have to maybe answer with e5. So good question there. So bishop e2 and Gukesh down to 1 minute 6 seconds. Harshit Bhai, I think. Oh, actually, I should have asked him, but he was supposed to go to. He was supposed to go to Austria. अभी कहाँ पे है पता नहीं है, but I'll ask Sagar. CS is asking, hi Sagar sir and Amrita ma'am, my rating 1600 rapid, अपनी rating 2000 plus कैसे कर सकता हूँ? Yeah, मतलब you don't firstly have to think that you have to gain rating, but you can think of how to improve, and there you can, at this stage, maybe you can try to understand certain concepts which are about the dynamic advantage versus the static advantage, and the pieces, the end games, the rook end games, queen end games, exchanging many times, there is liquidation, which the transition towards here, if you see the queens got exchanged, whether you want to get into this to understand that white can still put slight pressure, because many times for weak players it's like acha ye to draw hai. So all of these things, try to work on that, definitely should help you. Arijit is saying I'm 1900 on leeches and I was thinking to go to a FIDE rated classical tournament. Oh, that is great that after playing a long time online, you guys are ready to go to on the board events. Can you give some basic tips? Yeah, your first OTB tournament is generally, there's a lot of nervousness, and a lot of panic in time pressure and so on. So blunders happen a lot, and that's why before every game, it's great if you can spend maybe 10 minutes at least on solving tactics before the game, so that you're kind of warmed up, you kind of not too much in pressure. And over there, keep yeah, sometimes even the little factors when you're playing your first OTB tournament, like drinking water and all that, can be forgotten, but it does become an important thing not to eat a chocolate in between the game, because you kind of will gain the energy very quickly but also lose it, and then at the critical moment you will lack it. All these things, initially the awareness wasn't there that much, but now we all know that. Knight c6, Gukesh develops his knight to c6. Let me see if I have the full screen over here. Yes, there you go. Pragg Immediately back on the board. And is he going to make the move quickly, guys? What do you think? How long is he going to take here? He's drinking water. Pragg drinks water in another style only somehow. It's not like a normal. So many times it's in a say एक अलग ही aura है. Gukesh down to 1 hour 3 minutes, by the way. Let me just increase the size of the clock. I think Pragg is going to play quickly. But then he drank water. तो वो भी एक है. देखते हैं. 2.3 minutes. 1 minute 2 seconds. Before 2-3 minutes. 5 minutes max. क्या क्या guesses है? Super. Less than 2 minutes. ठीक है, देखते हैं. I think he's come back maybe 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes is what the chat is thinking, that Pragg will make a move. But I doubt. Because over here, what all the moves? Like, now just try to think of the possibilities for white. How are you going to think? What would be your, if you had 2 minutes on the clock, then what would be your move? E4, B4, Bishop F4, E4. Okay, there's E4 which we did discuss. White's not the best idea because black would be happily attacking the F2 pawn and you will have to go Rook F1 to defend this. Somewhere it doesn't feel like in the spirit of the game. So that's something may not be a good idea. B4, attacking this bishop definitely should be on the radar because it's a natural threat. And you are also asking the question to black bishop whether you want to stay on this diagonal to trouble my F2 guy, or if you're going to go back, then I'm happy because then at some point when I want to go E4, I don't have to worry about it. So that would be a question. And then if black says, well, I do want to stay on this diagonal to stop your E4, what white is basically going to say is, okay, no problem. Who cares about E4? I'm just going to develop my bishop over here, connect my rooks. My development is complete. Your bishop is still struggling over here. If you even try to go bishop D7 to develop over here, then I will have, wow, I will have some very powerful moves then. What would be the best move? There are two good moves. What would be the best moves for white, guys? White to play. Try to think. Try to think in a, maybe I'll not give a hint, but maybe in some tactical way. Oh, B4 on the board. An important decision for Guki. Where does he want his bishop and how long is he going to take over here? Because once again he is in a situation of where thinking might be required, and that does mean anywhere, anytime, whenever there will be a time advantage of more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that does give you a lot more confidence, and that does put a subconscious pressure on the opponent. So this one, after B4, let's see how many of you have got the move. Knight A4, Knight E4, B5, Knight G5, B4. Acha, Knight E4, all those who said Sudrishya, Venkatesh, GM, Harivash, Dhawan Mustafa and Tilak Sundar. Let's go back. Knight E4 is definitely a very good move. All those who found this move. But there was another interesting idea which was related with a disco and related with the piece not being enough defended. If you see here, there is one attacker, one defender, which means whenever one defender would be gone, then the piece would be a hanging piece. And that's where knight b5. Look at this move. Such a good move. You're attacking this. Of course, if he takes over here, bishop takes f6. There you go. Take that knight away. When it is captured, the rook comes on the 7th rank, wins the piece back. But in the whole process, इस पूरे चक्कर में the pawn structure is weak. It's totally weak, and you cannot even think of going b6. But in fact, not just weak, you are losing a pawn. So tactically, it's not working. So b4, bishop a7, it does mean that it's not a good idea, because white would be very happy. So for b4, it might be very subtle, but for Gukesh, it's important that he goes back to e7. Now in the same scenario, when you go bishop b2, once again it's not even needed to go bishop d7. You can continue with a move like b5. But with the bishop on e7 and the bishop on b2, you have protected this knight, and this is how Gukesh will need to continue. Very critical moment already, I would say, in the game. I'm sure he would go back to e7, though it looks quite exciting to keep the bishop over here to stop e4 ideas. Because another question is, what if e4 over here? Now knight g4 is not so strong. So iske liye kya kare? Because e5 is a threat. This is getting very serious now. Very serious. And I did not imagine, because when the queens got exchanged and all, somewhere it felt like it's going to be fizzling out and so on, but not at all. Bar is frozen kya? Wait a second. Just check if they are fine right now. Draw incoming, all those who are asking, no, I don't really think so. That is right now way far, because of 25 minutes low on time, a big decision on the board which can cost quite a big initiative for Pragg if Gukesh goes wrong. And that means, to make the right decision, I think Gukesh will be using, maybe, let's guess how much time he will use. 5 minutes? Maybe even 10 minutes. I don't know, because it's possible that he could use some time, and that would mean that Pragg gets confidence even from the opening. This is still somewhere a follow up of the opening with more time, and बस just you have the initiative in hand, और क्या ही चाहिए. This is called as a successful opening for Pragg whenever he manages his opponent to get low on time in classical, which is exactly what he did even in the last GCT, if I remember, the classical one, where he brought in some amazing opening preparation as well. Fabi is playing with 99.8% accuracy. We should check the game out, of course. Yeah, bishop e7 is important, and then you have to calculate e4 and so on. Quickly, because so many of you are talking about Fabi, let's have a quick look over there. Opening ही तो है ना? But नहीं क्या London system में, was there another line or something? Okay, just opening stage going on. Saven is saying hi from Lanka. Ooh, we recently had Aditya from Chessbiz India visiting Sri Lanka, and nice people there. They usually have this tournament every year, Guys, check it out. It's a great place to travel, to play a tournament, to also have some sightseeing experience. Anuj is like, hi Sagar sir and Amrita, my rating is 900 in rapid and I'm in class 12th. So what should I do? You should be studying, no? You are in 12th. And you should also play chess. I don't understand the question yet, so you can elaborate. Traveling solo says, hi from, I don't know how it's pronounced, Keynes, Australia. Keynes, Australia. I love Indian chess forever. Big Gukesh fan. Oh, that's nice. Australia. Yeah, we did have on one of the stream. We had a lot of discussion, in fact, about Australia, about kangaroos, and it was super fun because somebody had super chatted from Australia, and then we even ended up saying that there should be one piece on the chessboard, like kangaroo jump. So it was very funny. Hmm. Okay, let's analyze this one thing. Bishop e7, e4, okay? Because I believe if Gukesh calculates and he understands there are these tactics with knight b5, knight e4 and so on, and development may not be as easy. So he goes bishop e7 and after e4 he can go b5. This is a possibility to continue, and for white, if let's say you continue with e5 attacking this knight, then the interesting thing is for black, he can attack the pawn either with going back to d7 or going slightly more aggressive with knight g4, where these two knights are attacking the e5 pawn. Look at his position. To protect the e5 pawn, either you can develop your bishop to f4, or there is another way that you can develop the bishop to b2 as well. Give up this pawn, because if black takes this pawn, knight takes e5, knight takes e5, knight takes e5, then comes it's the time to disco. And what's the move? Very, very easy for all of you. Notation. What's the notation? What is the move? Okay, maybe you can go wrong. Wow, that's a good thing. Sahil, Arijit, Sudrishya, oh Rahul, thank you so much. Starts with the Daksh. This is the move. Knight takes b5 because you are winning the pawn back. And if a takes b5, there is bishop takes e5. So if you look at this position, after all these exchanges, what have you got in return? An isolated pawn which is under attack. The rook waiting to jump on the 7th rank. This bishop still under a lot of trouble, no time to develop to a good diagonal because of rook d7 and bishop e5. And white will have a majority on the queen side, and after winning this pawn, in fact, even these two pawns would be a deadly passer. So this looks really good for white. So for black, at every situation, wherever there is a decision making situation, he has to be careful, like going back knight d7, and if you go bishop b2, not taking on e5 would be a critical decision. Instead, what black can do is, what are my trump cards? He can try to be alert for that. And there is one weak square which this black knight can intend to go for, which is knight b6 and knight c4 ideas. That is something he can look at. Also, he should try to exchange this rook, because the rook on d1 definitely has been quite annoying. So all of these things, if you look at it, this endgame is more like, we call it a queenless middle game. And that is pretty complex because of all the threats which are constantly coming, and because we are in a situation where one move here and there, black could be in trouble. White is safe. So white is, in a way, quite relaxed over here, with more time in hand, with better preparation, and with all the ideas where white's pieces are more active, white is giving the threats on black. So, which means practically, I would say that this is, though the computer says a slight edge 0.3, I would consider it as a serious slight edge for white. Ooh, again, there are many people in the chat. How many of you are planning to play your first OTB tournaments or maybe some federated tournaments, because it is really amazing that you're doing that. It requires so much of effort, right? When you're playing an OTB classical tournament, then it's like a long, so like a long thing, 7 8 days, 5 hours round, maybe 4 hours in this scenario. But I'm sure you're putting a lot on the stake for that matter. I thought this starts at 3:30 a.m. No, that was I think US afternoon time. Here it was supposed to start at earlier time, was 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock at night. Yeah, 1 o'clock at night, but now it is at 11 o'clock. Mhm. Divakar is saying don't judge the position with 4000 rated engine. Human doesn't play like the engine. Use 2800 strength engine to analyze this position. No, definitely this engine is not at all strong, the one which you're using. And also these ideas for, I think for Pragg and for Gukesh to kind of calculate on the board, to even understand, and this sense that there is some trouble incoming, that you have to be careful. The players understand that very well. Even if you look at this whole screen right now, you see the intensity there, and you see Gukesh definitely feeling the pressure here. Look at him. He's trying to calculate. Um, yeah, his eyes are closed, but of course, he's calculating how to get out of these little troubles one by one. And at the same time, to be able to take care of the time, an interesting thing is like just 2 3 days ago, you've ended a tournament where you played almost 27 games, which were of rapid and blitz format, and now you are into a classical game. Suddenly it feels like, okay, I have a lot of time in hand, and you can start thinking, it's possible that for Gukesh, I think the first game many times, um it's quite unpredictable that way. Let me just come back in a moment. Okay, oh, Gukesh has made the move and he's gone bishop a7, and that too after quite some thought. In fact, he had 1 hour 4 minutes on the clock and he went down to 48 minutes. That's 16 minutes, guys. 16 minutes over here. We did discuss that this one, not the not the best idea, but then practically you feel more comfortable to keep such a bishop on this long diagonal to stop e4 ideas, because at the same time to assess something like bishop going back to e7 and then allowing e4 with these e5 ideas, humanly maybe this looks easier. The question is, did Pragg make a move? No. He's drinking water. He's down to 1 hour 24 minutes. Is he going to think for a long time? Does he understand that this is a good initiative for him? He's pretty relaxed. I think he is into his preparation. It does feel like that. What do you think, guys? Yeah, Pragg is definitely very chill. I mean, in another mode. Damon is saying anybody would get stressed if their opponent is in prep and you are down to 30 minutes on the clock and you still have to play 27 moves. It's the funniest statement today. Guna Sentil says Pragg should grow his hair longer. His straight, smooth hair will look good if it's slightly longer. You might be a hairstylist, I assume, but one thing I can assure you that I don't think that's ever going to happen. Pragg having long hair just feels very, very unrealistic. Okay, he has started thinking. It does feel right now Gukesh is off from the board. Just look at this whole scenario. Pragg is looking here and there, but obviously thinking about what to do and calculating and so on. He's also quite relaxed for that matter. He looks comfortable. Look at Aronian, by the way, he just got up. And the question is whether he's going to develop his bishop, which we were looking at these ideas, bishop b2, and we only looked at bishop d7, which was not a good idea because of knight b5. If you all remember, also knight e4 was a very powerful move as well. But the question is not bishop d7. For black, if he continues with b5, with the idea of bishop b7 bringing the bishop over here, and now how does white continue with making the best moves? You see there are two open files on the board, the c file and the d file, and naturally we say that rooks belong on the open files. So you will consider a move like rook c1, which comes on the open file, which also gives a direct threat of knight takes b5, maybe rook c6. There's a calculation with, you play here, he plays here, you take here. So a lot of takes kind of a situation. But then the bishop goes to b7, black's rooks are connected, rook d7 is under control, and maybe black feels okay about his position, yeah? And this is what possibly Gukesh would also be thinking about. Now, after bishop a7, for Pragg, there is another idea which he might think about, guys. So, white to play, we looked at bishop b2. Is there any other suggestion you all can try to think about? It's not an easy question I have asked, but let's try to see. Let's attempt, guys. White to play. What else is the idea? How can you try and think and find some plans over here? '90s kid is saying Pragg with Richard Rapo haircut. I'm sure you can get inspired by his chess, but for Pragg, again, doubt that, guys. But yeah, it definitely sounds quite interesting. I'll give at some point. I think I'll give him the chat message. Wow, wow, we do have some suggestions here, and oh yeah, b5 h3 knight d2 is suggested by Nandish and Insane Spider. Many of you wanted to think about b5 over here, so all those who said knight d2, very good eye over there, because you're shifting the knight from here to, you see, the weak squares which Sagar had pointed out much before. So d6 and b6 and the knight's journey over here, that would be quite deadly. Also, the knight could go to b3 because these are c5 is also very tempting square over there. Knight a5, as we had seen in some of the line with b5 and bishop on b7, if this knight is not on c6. So this knight basically understood, that this is exactly what we call as an advanced player, that you understand the knight's potential is better somewhere else than on a conventional f3 square, which is generally considered good because it is moving towards the center, it is closer to the center. So this is one of the thing. Knight d2 would be a great idea. Pragg is still thinking, and I think now he might take some more time because he has simple bishop b2 development as well on hand. If he really wants to go e4 e5, if this idea is very tempting, he might even consider an idea like h3 stopping knight g4. So maybe with all of this for Pragg, there could be a lot to think if at all he has such ideas, but because otherwise he would have played bishop b2 quite quickly. This is what I feel. Oh, bishop b2. He plays bishop b2. So Pragg says, no, I don't really want to think too much. 7-8 minutes are good enough for this position. Let me just simply develop my bishop over here and ask you the question, what's your next move? Because you know what, even black could be tempted to develop this bishop not on b7 but maybe somewhere here on this diagonal by pushing the pawn to e5, because even e4 looks tempting. But in this scenario for white, if e5 is played, I would seriously consider such a move from black. Yeah, okay, the computer is suggesting a move which is insane, and there is no doubt that I'm not even going to ask you the question white to play over here, thinking that all of you guys are humans, and I don't think humans will think of that move, so that's why. But e5 would be tempting for me, yeah, very much. You are looking at e4 ideas somewhere, or otherwise also maybe bishop f5, not e4 giving up the square, but bishop f5. People are trying. I like that. People are trying. Is it knight d5? Oh, that's a very human move. So no. No, the move the computer was suggesting. Do you want to know, guys? Come on, Ashwin. It's impossible to find it. Or maybe you did because I said it's impossible. Knight b1. It's a backward move. The knight goes back. Knights are meant to go forward. Like, आगे बढ़ो. और यहाँ पे it's going back. Yes, you are attacking this pawn on e5. But still, knight b1. क्या move है ये? Of course, I mean, you understand the meaning. This knight d2. You're going to develop there. e5 को support कर रहे हो. Okay, completely get the point. But with other options in hand, maybe not. Because there is bishop c4. Which is possible. The same idea, like what black was doing for e4, knight g5 in the future would be there. Then the d5 square is weakened, so this knight moves, you will jump in. So bishop b2, and that's why e5 is practically not so easy. But I maybe if Gukesh wants to take some action, he may be considering this move e5. Otherwise, he will very quickly play b5 now. Like very soon, he will play b5. And for b5, then it all begins because Pragg has not just knight d2 ideas as we've seen, but also a4 ideas, when to attack this, when this is defended, when a disco can come in. You look at black's position and look at the rook on 8, has no defense, has no support, it's a hanging piece. Knight on c6 is a hanging piece here. So, a lot of tactics, whenever there is a hanging piece, generally you are more alert कि tactics can come in relation with those pieces. Insanely insane says knight blocking the bishop and doesn't have any good square. That's why that knight b1 move was a good move. Yes, very true. Himang, Arey, how are you? He says, I feel that activating the c8 bishop is black's biggest problem. Given black's time situation, Gukesh may as well decide for e5. I also think that, Gukesh is a player who like wants to do something. Like to sit calmly is sometimes not his nature as we have seen from his chess. He's constantly taking a lot of risky decisions, and if he goes for e5 in some way it is also some kind of a risky decision there. um so practically maybe Gukesh is thinking about e5. You are right. Himang says if Pragg can outplay Gukesh from this position, it will be really impressive. Absolutely impressive, but also I think practically a very realistic possibility to do that because of the current situation. With half an hour more on the clock and this initiative, and not just that, that Gukesh doesn't feel like in his element yet. The amount of time he's using, that is what I think is something you can understand, that he's trying to find his groove. Is there any way to use a chess book effectively? Asks Heisenberg. Yeah, absolutely. Like the whenever you open a book and you start seeing whatever it is, whichever page, whichever this thing, the main thing is try to guess the moves. Every single moment you keep your brain more active rather than sometimes just looking at the moves, you are guessing. Be it give yourself very few seconds. If you don't have too much time, then even give yourself 10 seconds, 20 seconds. But always first try to think what you want to play. What is the move which comes to your mind, and then look at the actual move which was played. The more the time you're able to give, at least maybe more than a minute or 2 minutes would be very good. Even further, if you want to do it um, much more serious, I mean, then you can just have a book and a pen and always try to write your guess of the move or what you would have played. Sagar used to do that very very intensely when he would study. He would have his own serious practice, serious training, because writing gives you clarity. Otherwise, sometimes there is a lot of fog in your head. You've seen this and that and everything kind of a thing. But actually, when it comes to writing, there you are putting your decision on the paper, and it it helps your decision making much more, even in that sense in your life, because having vague ideas, having some short listings and all of that is shortlisted moves and all is quite much easier than to actually decide what to do, actually execute. Reyes says top 4 qualify for GCT finals in Brazil. Currently, Prague is on 5th and Gukesh on 7th. I guess we need good points. Yeah, Prague is on 5th, and there's a good chance if he does well in this tournament. But let's see. Deepa says 30 minutes stream was not clear during the start. Oh, we don't know what happened, but yes, there were people who said that there was some lag. But now it should be fine over here. And lot of you, like, we just, it was very sudden that we started the stream. We hadn't announced it before and all that. So a lot of people got super excited. Everyone's like, okay, we are not alone now. We are studying. We have a paper tomorrow. तो सही है, बहुत सही है. कितना टूर्नामेंट हो गया ना recently, and all of you are watching. Himang says Arvind is off to a fine start, 2 out of 3 so far at Rubinstein Memorial. Beat Adams, draw against Kovalenko and Bluebam. Nice update there. By the way, Kovalenko is back to chess after serving in the front line for Ukraine. Wow, that's like an insane story there. Definitely. Well, I'm very keen to see to try and look at, like, if you look at the board, Pragg is making a move and never on the board. Like, when Gukesh is thinking, Pragg is like never sitting on the board and trying to calculate and all that. He is all the time roaming around. This is another thing many times when you know that when you are at the board, sometimes the opponent plays fast. And actually, when you are away from the board, the opponent is thinking. But of course, Gukesh is not the player who is going to be falling for this, I would say, kind of a psychological thing sometimes, but not here at top level because it's not going to work that way. But earlier, it used to be a trick that even I had my sir, Vaidya sir, who would do it. There were some players, you get up from the board and then they just go into their zone, completely forget that they have to make a move, because chess players also enjoy calculating. There's so much, like, they find such beauty in thinking and calculating and finding some nice lines, and there's a conversation going on while doing that. um, Sometimes you find some brilliant move, of course, which is not practical to happen on the board, but you feel the joy of finding those kind of variations and all. So yeah, so I'm definitely wondering here what Gukesh is feeling and what he is trying to calculate. But as of now, Prague having a great practical advantage is what I would say. Look at the time here. We have a very nice interview of Nagalakshmi, which we will be publishing soon, maybe tomorrow. And it's very nice. She speaks so well. My God. Jai Gautam says, "Hi, I'm 20-year-old boy who is studying BTech CSE. Started playing chess because of Samay. I started something 3-4 months back. Currently 850 yellow. Played my OTB tournament. Great experience. Wow. Too good. That's a great update." ऐसे स्टोरीज सुन के मज़ा आता है. Yeah, we could have a quick look at, let me see, we do have bars by the way, but a quick look at other games as well. So Wesley roundup, kind of, we can do it. Samuel Sevian is playing against So Wesley. Samuel is having more time. Position does look like quite active for white, but at the same time, quite unclear, I would say. Like a lot of complexities. MVL versus Firouzja. Ooh, two doubled pawns over here. MVL is having a slight edge. Look at these pieces waiting to create an attack on the king's side there. A nice position for MVL against Ali Reza. Also more time. Northerbeg versus Aronian. Aronian is better. Wow, with the black pieces, with this deadly bishop with the pawn on h4. Oh my god, this looks like really a powerful attack for black. Insane how he manages to, right now his momentum goes on and on, because in classical, to get this kind of a position against Northerbeg with the black pieces shows that he is continuing with his form. So great news for him. And Fabi versus Duda, that too is pretty unclear. It's Duda's move right now, and Duda can actually go for c4, attacking this bishop and kicking the bishop back. Should be possible that way. Knight f8 also, but once again, pretty stable position. And Pragg versus Gukesh here after bishop b2. Gukesh is thinking down to 34 minutes. And that's a huge. The time gap is increasing and increasing. Only 14 moves. In fact, he has to make 26 moves now in 34 minutes. Imagine he's using 8-9 minutes more for this move. He is going to per move 1 minute. And that too a position where he will need to find a lot of defenses. Gukesh, that very critical position is going to come later as well. So using this time is dangerous. At this moment, I find it very dangerous where it is heading towards for Gukesh. Pragg would be happy. Definitely at this moment, it is white who is going to be happy. And guys, Aniruddha 42 minutes behind on the clock. That's what Gukesh's time gap is being created. And after, from 3rd September, we are going to be having Grand Swiss. So Grand Swiss in Uzbekistan, in Samarkand, that is starting, where Pragg, Gukesh, Arjun, I mean everyone's going to play over there. Not Nakamura. I think Naka is not playing, Fabi is not playing, Magnus is not playing, but rest of all the top players are playing over there. So that would be the very exciting tournament. Divya is going to be playing in the open section as well. And as women's section as well, we'll have all our other top players. So बहुत मजा आएगा. 3rd September से just save the dates in the calendar. डाल दो. Samaira says hi from Chandigarh. You should do something chess related here too. Yeah, Chandigarh, I think there are a lot of chess players, right? Vantika is from Chandigarh. Hi Amrita Didi, what is the best move for Gukesh in this position? His best move according to the engine in the position is to go b5. So let's again try to decode this, like b5. Oh, did he play? No, yes, he played. He played rook d8, and we were trying to decode the move b5, but he played rook d8. This is exactly what pressure does. The problem is this bishop. You want to develop it, but if you're going b5, you are constantly in this time zone. You have less time, and you constantly have to fear ideas with a4 and losing the pawn, because once you lose the pawn, white is going to be very happy, and it's white's pieces who are all coming together, making things like a target. Rook d8 feels safer for now because you are trying to challenge this thing over here. You want to go bishop d7 and bishop e8 and feel a bit safe by getting rid of the ideas like bishop f6, bishop takes f6. If you all remember that bishop d7 directly was a mistake because of knight b5 and then bishop takes f6 and then winning the bishop. That's why Gukesh goes rook d8, saying that I'm now ready for bishop d7. The question is for white. When you know that the threat is bishop d7 to develop, for white, should he care about it? Should he ignore? Should he exchange the rook? Should he find some other move? What is the move? Guys, you think that. Wait a second. What is the move you would play with white over here? Such positions where you have slight advantage, where the advantage is transitioning, where you are putting pressure on the opponent. Such positions, if you are able to find the best move, it is really going to help your chess. देखते हैं if you are able to find, guys. Let's try. We have 3,000 people watching. So in the middle of the night, while studying and working and all that, let's see if you can find. Nishant Dave says love from Vadodara for Sagar Bhai and his dedication. Arey. Thank you, Nishant. We have these moves over here by the chat. Rook takes d8. Most of you want to take on d8. Then we have another suggestion, that's b5. Then we have knight e5 also. Quite an interesting idea there. Knight a4. Kafi suggestions hai, but most of you want to either take or go b5. Coming back to the board, I think last time also many of you wanted to play b5 because it's definitely a move. It's a threat first of all, and if you take, then your knight is also jumping, so pretty logical. But rook d8, सोचो कि बहुत natural idea है. Rook you are exchanging and you are saying that knight has to go back. So for the moment the knight goes back. It feels like the development advantage. Here, देखो what is the rook on a8 doing? What is the bishop is over here, but the pawns, if they stay on f2 and e3, they are acting as a beautiful granite against this bishop. The bishop literally has nothing to attack if white doesn't go e4. Then this does nothing. And that's why with the bishop on e7, it was more important. So यहाँ पे if takes for white, one idea is to jump to e5. There's no knight on c6. One idea is to go to d1 and threaten rook takes d8. And then if you again go knight c6, then my next question to all of you, what should white player find a shot? What should white player? Let's see how many of you are awake. Ajay says trying to learn something so that I can defeat my girlfriend at least one time. Wow, does that mean that she beats you all the time? Kya hi? It's great to know that you guys are playing lot of chess. Oh yeah. Tarini. Why did I? Yes, Tarini is from Chandigarh. Himal Gusain is from there. Absolutely true. So sorry. Let's look at the move. Wow, love it. Love it. The chat is very, very active at this moment at 12:30 p.m. a.m. Shritanay, Mohammad, System, Aditya, Aman, Riyar, Srinivas, Toxic, Abhijit, and Narsing have found a move, and the move is knight e5, deflecting the knight. If you take it, then checkmate. So ये तो नहीं हो रहा है. So knight e5 is a very solid move. You don't have bishop d7 also time to develop over here. Knight c6 मर रहा है, bc6, और फिर क्या हाल इस pawn का, क्या ही. So rook d8 के बाद if rook takes d8, अरे sorry, if rook takes d8, knight takes d8, rook d1, then knight c6 would actually be a blunder. I mean, positional blunder. In this position, how do you support the d8 knight? What to do? Because if you go bishop b6 and try to defend this, once again the knight jumps to a4, attacks the bishop, you go to c7, but then the same theme, guys, same theme, white to play, final shot. Can you find it? Guys, I am super proud of you all because they are, क्या कर रहे हो मतलब, are you studying and stopping your studies and then writing the move over here? Yeah, are you fully focused into the analysis? How are you guys being so active and sharing these right answers? GM, Hikaru, Naishad, Abhijit, Surajit, Mysterious, Chess Knight, Mohit, Dhananjay, Parda, and Ria. Very, very proud of you for finding this move. Bishop e5, deflection. And then once again, everything is happening related with the back rank. Can you see how it is impacting when this rook gets exchanged and when this rook is blocked by the c8 bishop? So the c8 bishop is not just facing trouble of ki bhai, what should I do in my life? But also because he is not very clear what should he do in his life, he's making somebody else's life slightly difficult too. That does happen, right? When you are confused, you are going to spread the confusion. So rook d8 and oops, going back to this move bishop e5, you can't defend here, and that means the only move to defend his knight will be, what's the only move to defend? Yes, already the chat is writing bishop d7 to block this attack and to defend this. Arey, the game is not at all draw for sure. Not at all. Okay, bishop d7 ko, then your knight can jump in, attack the d7 bishop. So yeah, this is a position which we can enter, and if Pragg gets very, very excited, then there are more thrilling moves as well. But let's not go ahead of our time. Let's stay here after rook d8 because Pragg is using his time. Pragg is down to 1 hour 9 minutes. Still, he's having at least 37 minutes more on the clock, which is huge amount of time. And he's going to ask himself that if, let's say for a moment, you don't want, this is a candidate move, like a shortlisted move, you want to think that if there is a better move than rook takes d8, then what else? And there's another move which can tempt Pragg very much. Generally, whenever there are these tempting moves, you want to spend some time on them. And after looking at the whole analysis, yes, Ankur, Mohit, what I really like is even when the question is not asked, you guys are very sincerely alert for it, and 95 starting with the same idea which we were looking at, but just not by exchanging, by keeping the tension on the board. Knight e5. Now your threat is to take and of course mate over here and all that. So for black, if black takes on rook d1, then rook d1, and once again white is very happy because it converts into the position where the knight moving away was a mistake. So this would bring black into huge trouble. इसके लिए again he gets into a situation of going bishop d7. So this is the doubt, this is the confusion, and this is the main a decision for Pragg to make whether he should get into this position with his rooks on the board or whether one rook should be exchanged and then he should get into such a position. I want to understand you in the chat. What would you do? Like, if there are these two options, no, the move you won't be able to write. You just will have to share over here your thoughts. Whether you would want the single rook to exchange or whether you would like to jump with knight e5 already. So knight e5 or rook takes d8. Oh yeah, actually I can ask the question. Wait. Question is knight e5 or rook takes d8. Now I have cleared the chat. Let's see how many of you want to go into the one rook exchange variation or direct knight e5. Okay, we have the kind of poll over here which is like knight e5 22 people and rook d8 14 people, which means that we can get an idea. Maybe Pragg is thinking of knight e5 seriously, and maybe that is what we may have on the board. Knight e5 or rook d8, both are equally good moves. Knight e5 and rook d8, for the computer I think maybe very slightly knight rook d8, but I might even convert. I'm not sure. Yeah. And if knight e5, oh, maybe knight e5 is what would be preferred. Slightly, very slightly. Wow. Gukesh in trouble already. Man. Pragg has to not use too much of his time because both these moves are quite easy for him, and he knows that he's putting pressure on Guki by this time gap, so he can try and make sure to keep that as much possible. But sometimes you might feel कि अरे if what if one of the decision goes wrong, तो क्या ही करेंगे. तो इसके लिए I think he will try to put more thought into this. पता नहीं कितना सोचेगा, but maybe another 5 minutes or what. If knight e5 knight d7, Ryan has asked, but knight e5 if knight d7 takes was the plan all along, and now I'm like even bishop f3 is there. Even knight e4 there is a spin over here, and if you go bishop e7, the development means nothing because constantly the light square bishop is in big trouble. So yeah. Oof. Let's look at the feel over here. कैमरा थोड़ा स्लैंटिंग तो है, थोड़ा सा स्लैंटिंग है, slightly tilted. Okay, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Oh, Divyan, thank you so much. Sagar किधर गया? Sagar, guys, Sagar was in Chennai. We all saw him doing 2 commentaries and videos and whatnot. So he came yesterday. I think he came yesterday, 16th. Oh no, actually not yesterday. Day before. Oh, not true. He did come yesterday only, which was midnight. Okay, that is 17th midnight. And yeah, he's been having quite a what to say, intense time in these last few days. So he's sleeping right now. I'm very happy about it. I'm not at all going to wake him up because we didn't even plan to stream this earlier when it was supposed to be at 1 o'clock, but we did plan to maybe just what would you say if, let's say, we have the stream without any commentary, and let's say, right, like this, you can see the board and you can also see the bar, the live board. But okay, one of the thing is maybe that today we have only one board, but from tomorrow we will have two boards. So yeah, we'll have a scene where both of them are playing, and then there is also the board. Do you think it is a good idea, or do you think we should not have it? Nah, it will be boring. It will not be so good. Yeah, I mean, if the choice is between, at after a point, if the choice is between no commentary and this, I mean, no stream and no commentary, anything better than nothing. Okay. Okay, commentary would be the best. If not, then there is at least the stream. And if then not, then okay, got it, got it. That helps. No, would love to stream it now because it is starting earlier. Maybe it's possible. टोपी वाले किधर गए? अरे हाँ, जीसीटी में सागर यूज्ड टू वेयर दिस टोपी, नीली टोपी वाले. करेक्ट. Good one. Who remembered that? Spandan. नाइट बॉट तुम कौन से जमाने में हो? कब बंद करोगे? Midoriya is saying, I still think it's better to not stream when there is no commentary. ऐसा लग रहा है कि maybe I'll have to do a poll. अरे प्रमित. But yeah, if you see that way, imagine, no, you can very easily see their game, and you can also have the board, also evaluation bar. Look at Northerbek there looking so seriously. भाई अपना गेम का क्या हुआ? ध्यान देना उधर. Quite intensely is looking at this because it's kind of a very exciting match for everyone else as well. Also, the first round, which is sometimes going to decide the momentum for the whole tournament. कब से मैं कैमरा इनका इधर से उधर. Northerbek still watching their game, trying to see if this 95. I'm sure Northerbek is calculating 95 already. Pragg down to 57 minutes. He's using all the time now. But is he going to be calculating till... Oh, about to play. Pragg, will he go 95? Will he go Rugdi 8? What's my guess? My guess is direct 95. Yeah. Yes. Pragg finds the best move. Knight e5 over there. Puts Gukesh into a question. And now if Gukesh doesn't play bishop d7, he is already in big trouble. But zero doubt that he will play. Because if he doesn't, then what else? King f8 is another move which is in the radar of the computer. But not a very happy move. Because after takes rook d1 as we were looking at, there's no bishop d7 also. And then you are looking at this horrible pawn structure here. नहीं चाहिए ऐसा pawn structure with allowing rook d8 and after king e7. Where will you take this rook, guys? The question to you, where is the rook going to go? Yeah, bishop d7. Gukesh plays the best move. Even if you are not in the best position, you have to keep finding the best moves. हर्षित भाई को मैसेज करो, ही विल कम। अरे हर्षित भाई को नहीं करना है डिस्टर्ब, वो भी बहुत कमेंट्री करके अभी वो घूमने गया है, थोड़ा सा घूमने दो उसे भी। ही इज़ ऑलवेज वेलकम, आएगा तो मज़ा ही आता है। रिया वॉज लाइक आई मे फॉल ऑफ टू स्लीप एनी टाइम। प्रग डोंट प्ले एनी मोर, प्रग इज़ नॉट प्लेइंग। खेल दिया प्रग ने। बहुत कम लोगों ने आंसर किया, बट दैट इज राइट। रुक h8, रुक h8 पे जा रहा है, ये देखो गाइस। इट्स नॉट इवन अटैकिंग h7 इमीडिएटली, बट देयर इज दिस whole pressure on this rank, and if you try to develop with the bishop takes, rooks getting exchanged, eventually the pawn is lost. So the bishop was doing some duty over there, and now it's gone to d7. Pragg is decided to keep the rooks on the board. More the pieces, better for the side where you have more time in hand. 26 minutes, so the time gap has reduced from around, I think it had reached around maybe 45 minutes. That way it's slightly happy news for Gukesh, but position wise Pragg is getting better. Can I ask you all, Himang, your message is retracted, sorry I cannot read it. Harshit Bhai will play a tournament soon after his trip. Yes, he's playing in Innsbruck. Now the question is, okay, yahan tak Pragg has got it till here, okay, with great preparation, time, everything, as we were discussing chilled mode mein. How to continue in the best format? कैसे खेले? Let me activate the chat chess move so that now I have done it, guys. Write your move again if at all you had missed. So how do we continue from here? Because having advantage is one thing, and we have seen at least a million times how the advantage slips away. So it's very important to sustain something. Whatever you have today, not necessary you will have tomorrow. Okay, do I mean that you have to be grateful to the advantage? Yeah, of course. But how do you, in the real sense, convert this into something tangible? Jogi says greetings from Toronto. Wow. Thank you so much, Jogi, for such a nice comment. And of course, Toronto, everybody has these memories of candidates, how we all enjoyed. Can you please display the bars, please? On the full screen. Let me try. I will definitely do that. Makes sense. And I am gonna check what you guys have answered over here. We have a few moves. Knight takes d7 and knight a4. It's a good one. Knight takes d7 is the way to go. But all those who said knight a4 wanting to maintain the tension, it was a big blunder. I think you completely forgot, because it's 12:50 a.m. that this knight was hanging over here. कोने में घोड़ा पर काम कर रहा था, थोड़ा नहीं बहुत काम करना था उसको, बट थोड़ा सा फिसल गया. So yeah, Knight d7, that's what Pragg plays. Makes the move. And a question over here is, why chess players have bad handwriting like doctors? They have more time. I really love that question. Who has asked that? Mysterious. I'll get to your question. But for now, what is white's best move? In a position like this, the best move is pretty simple for a player like Pragg, I would say. And yeah, what are you guessing? Knight e4. Knight e4 is the best move. Start with the knight very, very soon. Look at this d6 guy. Fatafat say, put pressure on b7 so that you can play bishop f3 and put more pressure on this diagonal, because now the light square bishop doesn't exist. Yes, the light square bishop was creating problems. It had development issues and all that, but it also was defending some important squares. And that there you go. Pragg doesn't even think much. Knight e4 played quite quickly, because the understanding that without this bishop, these are the points to attack. They are the target. This moves, even this becomes the target. So the whole light square is on queen side, where the rook is jumping to c1. Now you see the power of the open files, and you can clearly see that the whole thing started at that moment when this bishop decided to go to a7 here on move number 13th. An important decision here after b4 for black was whether to stay on this diagonal or whether to go back, and Gukesh decided to stay on a7, which looked visually more practical, but bishop e7 was an important move, very subtle, I would say, for that matter. And after this whole variation which we are into, uh, the bishop still is not at all able to put any defense nor anything where it has shown some potential. So yeah, Pragg better, quite a tangible advantage. This is plus 1 point something, guys, plus 1.3, as much of an advantage. And there you see the weak square, the power of, controlling weak squares, what a knight can be, the power of the knight on the 6th rank as well, or even the 5th rank, because the more it advances and it can stay there, it starts becoming really stronger than bishops, sometimes even rooks. And that's why you will see a lot of exchange sacrifices which happen many times when a knight is on the 6th rank and it's defended by a pawn. There's an exchange sacrifice. Utkar says the official broadcast does not always cover the faces of Indian players. Stream with faces and board would be better than no commentary. Okay, point taken. I think definitely will think about it. Wow, Himang shares an interesting fact that Pragg becomes world number 3 if he wins today. Given that Fabi draws, okay, बहुत कुछ पे dependent है, but still the possibility of becoming world number 3. And Fabi with the white pieces to draw against Duda, not very sure, but Duda has been in a good form lately. So yeah. Vijayan is like, no, that's not my philosophy. Like, I think it should be something like it must be ancient philosophy, Vijayan. Ishan is saying, without live commentary, people will switch to other routine channels. I think you should do stream with commentary. Switching is fine. I mean, mainly it should be possible to follow the games. Yeah, that is that it will be great because when Pragg is playing, Gukesh is playing, and that to a classical event with such top players, would be fun for people to be able to watch it like full time with the video and all. AO says, I like Norway chess. It keeps me entertained. Yeah, about the score sheet, why the handwriting is bad. Actually, you know what happens is you're writing since childhood. Your speed of writing is like becomes so fast that it's more of an act of a subconscious level. You like it's very automatic, you know, like how you are gonna take the toothbrush in hand and put the paste on that. Like you're thinking of something else. It's possible. Like you don't even have to be mindful. Like it's also good to be mindful, but just happens, yeah, like how you drive. So that is how the you write, and you don't want to be putting more time into a good handwriting or anything like that. It's just a formality to write for the rules and all. So in time pressure, imagine you putting even an extra fraction of second, you could absolutely get flagged. So players know this is something just for a record, but it is not meant to, you know, beautify or something with your handwriting and all that. So the handwriting doesn't matter as long as you can read the score sheet, as long as you understand whether 40 moves are completed or not. That's the main thing. So so yeah, handwriting ka to khatam. Himang says GCL happening in India this year, crazy stuff. Yes, Himang bhai, maza hi aayega. I'm also very excited because it would be maybe the first time I will be going to GCL. Quite an interesting joke. Traveling Solo has asked, how did the chess player make so much money? From a discovered check on the board. Lol from Australia. Well tried. Well tried. Yeah, this year I think we're gonna have a lot of important events. World Cup, Sinquefield. No, not Olympiad is not this year. It was last year. Grand Swiss, World Cup, GCL. Then there will be, I think in between there will be the final freestyle also will be there in South Africa. World Rapid and Blitz is always very exciting at the end of it, but generally we've not streamed it much. But let's see what happens this year. We've not planned it yet. A lot of tournaments are happening this time near, you know, in Asia, like Uzbekistan and Qatar, and it would be easier. I think no need for Shenzhen visa for now. That's generally quite a huge task. So, oh, look at Gukesh. He is down to 24 minutes, and this is 17th move. Oh my god, he has to make 24 moves in 24 minutes in a troubled position. Looking at every aspect at this moment, it does look that Pragg is on the course to beat Gukesh. But then once again, we've seen Gukesh, who has until now always proved that until the game is over, you cannot really judge. You know, the kind of comebacks he has done or he does is way more than many other players, yeah. So that way we cannot be for sure, but at this moment he is definitely in trouble. Let's try to understand more about this position because 24 minutes, 24 moves. We were just talking about this, yeah. If he thinks a lot, then it's gonna land up into per move 1 minute, and then if he thinks another 10-12 minutes, it's gonna be much less. Look at him, he's nervous. He feels the pressure Also, Pragg, your opponent is just not on the board. I would say that out of what are almost 2 hours since the game has started, maybe Pragg would be on the board. How much time? Maybe half an hour. Yeah, maybe 40 minutes or something. That's that much time. Pragg would be on board, but otherwise Pragg is just not ready to sit over here. So what? Oops. Okay, let's understand. Knight e4 खेला है. Now for black, what are the good defensive ideas which you see with the black side? Black to play. White is clearly looking at the squares. We know that. How is black going to try and think the best way to come out of the whole trouble and to still keep it complex? Bishop b8 is suggested by Aman Raj to, stop knight d6. Maybe even to give up your bishop. h6. Knight e5, which one? Which of the knight? Maybe knight d5 are you mentioning? b5. Can you attack the knight with the pawn? But then a move like f5 is even further weakening because white is quite happy going over here attacking this guy. And if you try to save it with b5, then you lose this piece on d7 with the move knight d7 removing the defender. So यहाँ पे a lot of problems. Direct threat happening knight d6. You have to be careful. So bishop b8 suggested, so that now if knight d6, then bishop d6 and black gets some breathing space. Yeah, something, because this bishop and this knight, if you compare, now you can easily say that the knight on e4 which went to d6 was better than the bishop on a7. That is how you assess the piece, and you can decide that I want to give my bishop for this knight. So bishop b8 definitely stops the opponent's immediate threat. But the only problem is, while doing so, once again you have disconnected your rooks. Once again it is just a defensive move. And once again white has natural moves which are also very good moves. So the flow for white is very, very smooth. Going back here, other than bishop b8, if you try to maybe activate your pieces, like knight e5 was another thing which was suggested. Knight e5 attacking this, and then b5, because at least you don't have knight b7 and winning the piece on d7. This is not the threat which you have. But then white has double bishop and the weak diagonals and the weak pawns. Wow, the piece activity is so deadly for Praggnanandhaa that when the opponent's pieces are active, there are constant threats, and when you have less time to defend against those constant threats, not at all gonna work. Gukesh closing his eyes over there, calming himself down, most probably telling himself, just hang in there right now, move by move, fight it out, and we will see what happens. But he is down to 19 minutes, guys. 17 moves are done, 24 moves to be made. This is complete danger situation. It's a warning sign right now for Gukesh to just start playing fast, but then your position is in big trouble. Yeah, so that means that the fact which Himang had shared, that Pragg, if he wins today, and Caruana, if he draws today, then Pragg in the live rating list becomes world number 3. Whoa! Man, that would be a massive feat, because, of course, apart from Vishi Anand, we did have in live rating, I believe Arjun was the one who had reached that. And insane. Did Gukesh also reach world number 3? Okay, this one, Fabi versus Duda, as of now, possible that draw can happen. Too early to say, but very possible. At least nobody has an advantage right now. No, Gukesh did not. Okay, thanks. So yeah, Arjun was the one who had reached world number 3. So after Vishy, Arjun, and then it will be Pragg. Chess Lore is saying, Amrita, it looks like Firouzja wants to play bullet 1 hour versus 1 minute. Why? Is there such a huge time difference or what? Can we have a quick look at that? Oh my goodness. Look at this time difference. What? MVL is having 1 hour 7 minutes on the clock after 19 moves, and Firouzja is having what? 6 minutes on the clock. Oh, and his position is also pretty much in trouble with this knight on d6 once again, showing the power of the knight against the bishop. Oh my god, what has MVL done in this first game? Played epic, yeah. We saw this position where there was this knight on f5, bishop f4. The attack was incoming, but cd4, queen f3 simply defended the d5 guy. Now knight d6 won the pawn. Okay. ठीक है, MVL is crushing it. I mean, very rarely you get to see something like this. So Firouzja has to make 21 moves in 6 minutes under trouble. Can he fight this? He is also known for his resourcefulness, like an extreme level of resourcefulness. So can he fight this? What do you think, guys? Yeah, but that was an interesting info, chess lover. Okay, let's go back to Gukesh versus Pragg's game. And Gukesh also down to 16 minutes here. देखते हैं guys क्या होने वाला है. Yash is like asked MVL to give some time to Gukesh. Oh yeah, it would be an interesting thing that you can exchange some extra time with each other. Like a lifeline, yeah. Guys, what are you studying? All those who are studying right now. What are you studying? Like which field are you into? And when you say that you study at night, does it mean that you wake up late in the afternoon and then you have the day starting late so that you want to study at night because there is less disturbance or something? बाप रे, so many people. अरे इतना फास्ट आंसर्स तो इवन व्हेन आई आस्क चेकमेट इन वन मूव तो भी नहीं आता है. मतलब कितने लोग पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, ये तो क्रेजी है. नीट, बैंकिंग एस्पायरेंट, 12th, केमिस्ट्री, एआई डेटा, एमबीए, जेई, बाइनोमियल थियरम, ये तो बहुत ही डिटेल हो गया. सीएफए, डिज़ाइन, 10th में क्या पढ़ रहे हो? अगस्त में, ठीक है, एग्जाम रहेगा. फिजिक्स, एमबीबीएस. Oh, you're a doctor, it says Jinal. Arey. So many NEET aspirants, yeah? Oh, Aditya is working. I'm in MBBS, MTech. Ryan is saying I'm not studying. काफ़ी ऑनेस्टली बेचारा बोल रहा है कि मैं इधर चेस पे फोकस कर रहा हूँ. नीट फ्रॉम कुरुक्षेत्र इंजीनियरिंग. ओके. ओ माय गॉड, चैट मैंने लाइक यू नो गाइस, आई जस्ट रीडिंग एंड आई थॉट ओके हो जाएगा, आई विल कैच अप. बट नाउ आई रियलाइज दैट इट्स इम्पॉसिबल. दैट this one I will definitely ask this question one more time when Sagar will be there. I'll put a bet to him. I'll first ask him to ask a question to find the best move, and then we'll see how many answers we'll get. Then I will ask this question, and then he will know. Oh my god, it would be at least, I think, 300 people answering what they are studying right now. YouTube course from Instagram. Funny, very funny. Working on laptop, seeing the stream on the phone. Bachelor's of Business Administration of International Business. Nobody is into printing engineering, it seems. Shriram is like, I'm doing dishes and watching chess. Wow. Rahul is doctoral studies at Harvard. Crazy. Anand is like Vishal Megamart Commando. Oh. No, we have time. I think classical game, there's sometimes one possibility when players are thinking a lot, then we have time to interact. We have a lot of time then. Chartered accountant. Okay, graphic designing. कैसा है फिर हमारा ओवरले? All those who are doing the graphic designing. Unknown Gaming is saying नीट वाले हर जगह रहते हैं अमृता दी. 25 lakh students appear करते हैं. 25 lakh is insane. Yeah, dinner is another question, but I think what are you studying is definitely beating the question, what did you have for dinner? Sumit is saying I'm watching from IIT Bombay. क्या बात है? Vijay Kumar is saying physician, cardiologist and critical care specialist. Wow, hats off to you guys, yeah? ठीक है ये तो आई थिंक मोर देन 500 मैं पागल हो जाऊंगी. प्रियम इज सेइंग स्टडिंग एट मैकडोनल्ड्स विल ईट मैकडोनल्ड्स आफ्टर. कोई तो बोला हाथी चीटी साइकोलॉजी. वो तुम ही हो आई थिंक हिमांग. यू मे स्टार्ट some stream like that. Maybe Himang will start posting also on social media. Hathi and Cheety. We can do that. Aragya Das is saying I'm watching from office in government sector. Crazy. मजा आ गया guys. मजा आ गया that to know that so many of you that you're doing so many things while watching the streams, and I think with this all of us are feeling like कुछ तो ऐसा साथ में कर रहे हैं, you know, मजा आ रहा है. JG's geographic information systems, quite interesting. Did we have a move right now? Yeah, we did. Knight B6 it seems like he's played. Leeches पे active नहीं हो आया नहीं अभी तक, but yeah, it is Knight B6. Okay, Gukesh does make the best move in the position, one of the top moves, and I think it's हिमांक सेज भाई आपने विदित को जो जोक मिला उसका लाइव रिएक्शन देखने मिला मेरे को चेन्नई में. हार्डेस्ट आई हैव लाफ्ड इन अ वाइल. हाँ रे, वहाँ पे मेरे को अभी उसके बाद थोड़ा ट्रॉमा हो चुका है. आई हैव टू रियली वर्क ऑन इट, विच आई विल डू. आई विल प्रिपेयर नेक्स्ट टाइम वेल. विदित इज लाइक, विदित भी ऐसा एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करती हूँ विदित विल कम एंड आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन. सो यू नो आई गेट काइंड ऑफ थोड़ा नर्वस हो जाते हो ना तुम. लाइक इमेजिन यू प्लेइंग चेस एंड इमेजिन अ टॉप प्लेयर इज वॉचिंग योर गेम, तो कैसे नर्वस हो जाए हुए इसके लिए. बट कमिंग बैक टू ऑल ऑफ इट, रैंडम सेज वॉचिंग फ्रॉम Denver while working in Southwest Airlines. Lovely, all of you people, you guys, hats off who all are working at night right now and trying to do so many things with the whole lot of dedication. Very very proud of you. करते रहो खुशी से. Knight B6 के बाद now once again Gukesh has posed a question to Praggnanandhaa कि भाई हाउ डू यू कंटिन्यू विथ योर एडवांटेज, करोगे क्या यहाँ पे. येस, आई हैव ब्लॉक्ड द कंट्रोल ऑफ द C5 square and I know that your knight is interested to go to D6 also and C5 also. A question to all of you, Out of these two squares, which one do you want to go? Do you want to go knight d6 or do you want to go knight c5? Right now, do you want to go knight d6 or do you want to go knight c5? Both look very, very tempting. It's like, do you want to have a chocolate ice cream or do you want to have a और कौन सा अच्छा रहता है आइसक्रीम बटर स्कॉच आइसक्रीम आई डोंट नो chocolate cookie cream knight c5 that's what I think mainly many of you want to do knight c5 knight d6 कोई जा ही नहीं रहा है यार GX, Arman, Tirupati, Abhijit, Rovio, Sam, Naik, Dhairya, Chess Knight, and Vaishnavi. We've got 24 answers. The move was, quite nothing to do with checkmate and all. So the chat right now is very active. You want to go knight c5 and why not knight d6 is the question. What is the problem for the move knight d6? I understand that all of you chose knight c5. It's a great idea. But why did you reject this move? ये बताओ पहले क्योंकि वो important है. Otherwise, if this move is good, then first you would prefer to even go to d6. No, why not? अरे travel with Nikhil Roshan in the chat. हेलो चैट वाले दोस्तों प्लीज हिट द लाइक बटन. हाउ आर यू अमृता जी? बुक कैसे लगी? अरे ट्रैवल विद निखिल रोशन, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द बुक्स. येस, आई गॉट अ लेटर एंड ऑल. आई सॉ it has to be sent to some people, so we'll do the best. It has been raining like cats and dogs over here in Mumbai. Red alert. Schools में छुट्टी वुट्टी मिला था तो not able to like थोड़ा सा. I have the books with me, but tomorrow I will be giving them to office and making sure. So बहुत सही है, great quality, beautiful pages, beautiful content, and I think over a period of time we'll also read some of your shairis when Sagar is there. But great work, Nikhil Roshan. Very, very amazed that such a thing you were able to convert into a beautiful, deep meaning thing. Oh, by the way, I had asked a question to the chat, and yes, guys, knight a4 was the reason why knight d6, knight c5 was an important move, because here your bishop is getting attacked with knight a4, and once again in such a scenario, look at the bishop. Rook doesn't allow to go here. This is controlled with the knight. Such a square is controlled with this knight, even this one, and this one with the pawn on g7. That makes a knight at the edge of the board very, very powerful. So knight c5 is a good move. Stops knight a4. Many times it's like you get your thing also, but you're stopping your opponent's threat also. It's very important, and that's why knight c5 was played. Rook a b8 played by Gukesh over here. That's what he could do to defend the pawn without the bishop on c8. And now once again for Pragg, the question is 47 minutes in your hand. 12 minutes for Gukesh. Gukesh is on move number 18th. Gukesh has to make 22 moves. Pragg has to make sure that he doesn't, at any point of time, he doesn't get lost in thinking and suddenly consumes like 30 minutes in one go. Because that would mean that his time is coming closer to Gukesh. And though Pragg will have a better position, it does make Gukesh feel slightly more relaxed. It gives him time to calculate, because I think he's not going to be getting up from the board for half an hour and be walking around. I mean, that's my guess. Pragg can do that because of the way the flow has been from the beginning. But I don't think Gukesh is even intending to do that. So yeah, he must play fast. How should he continue? How is bishop f3 with the idea of taking on c6? And then quite a logical question here. Why not bishop f3? But you see, the bar immediately dropped. He's like, not the best move. अरे ये क्या हो गया? Wait a second. Yeah, not the best move. Though you are threatening knight b7 and winning a pawn, that's not the best idea because I have an escape. I can take here, and that's what this knight to b6 did. Gukesh wants to activate his pieces. That's why he played to b6. ये दो स्क्वायर पे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. White has to be alert. Knight c4, and though you can go back to a1 and all, black is happy. Just get rid of that knight. वो knight है ना, it's nightmare absolutely. So I think for Pragg, if he wants to continue with the advantage, he can. How to continue? What is the suggestion here for white? Has anybody tried? Oof. Okay. The move here is. One second. Is it true that we still have around 4,000 people watching at 122? Insane. That to a classical game. Crazy, bhai. The chess interest is crazy. Attack is knight. h3, e4, rook ac1, bishop e5, rook ac1. Definitely an interesting move. So many times people had suggested earlier b5. We did not look into it, but it's I don't think b5, at least over here, definitely some issues may not be a good idea. But the move is to actually exchange this rook with rook takes d8. You can't take with this rook here because if you take with the rook, oh, you can. Because knight b7 would be a big mistake. Because of a double attack, rook on 7th rank, black would be happy to get such a counterplay to activate his bishop. The reason why white is not losing a piece is because you have to find a move of counter attack. White to play over here. What's the move? Yeah, the move here, we have people finding, many people in fact finding Aran, Kunal, Arman, Priyanshu, Nilesh, Sachin, Dipesh, Minekro, Abhishek, and Abhinav. Bishop f3, whenever there is double attack, make sure that you are looking at a counter attack. That is an intermezzo many times, and that is what is also missed. Many times you will find a lot of blunders happening in that scenario. But rook b2, bishop takes c6, and white will escape. But still, after takes, not to allow such a counterplay in general anyway. So for white, to go bishop f3 before itself would be a better idea. And now you are attacking this pawn, and rook d2 would be quite slow. The bishop will simply, yeah, save itself. You have a lot of time. You have a lot of time because this kind of a weakness here which has been created is like a long term one. So that's why you have a lot of time. So Pragg is thinking ki kaise kare. Rook d8 is there, and for rook d8, if knight takes d8, that is what if black will have to play. The position looks passive, but isn't Pragg winning a pawn here? Isn't Pragg winning a pawn because of attacking the rook? Ah, no, not really. Knight on d8 is supporting. So bishop e5 is not really going to help to win the pawn. Oh, wait, it's tactical. It's very tactical because if you go rook c8, oh my god, what do you play here? White to play. Oops. So sorry for that blackout. White to player. और यहाँ पे थोड़ा टाइम ले लो. क्या खेलोगे? लेट मी बी बैक. Oops. Okay, I'm back, guys. Uh, Let me see how many of you were able to answer this thing over here. Wow, 24 people. Let's go. Pakshal, Rishabh, Mohit, Priyanshu, Spawn, Joy, Tirupati, Ankit, Chess Knight, Abhinav. That's the move. Knight takes B7 here, and everywhere, if you are not alert, there are shots there, guys. Takes, Bishop A6. Boom, bam, ho raha hai. There is a pin there. The rook cannot defend the knight from anywhere because of the other bishop. Look at the A7 bishop. जब से वो A7 पे गया है, तब से it has been just in big trouble. It has not been able to really do anything. It has not been like a bishop. So knight d8, that has happened on the board. And actually Gukesh moving towards more and more trouble, because Pragg is finding all the best moves. Look at him over here. Let's go full screen because it deserves this moment here for Pragg. Is he gonna play bishop e5? Also, every move which Pragg has to find, okay, every move which Pragg has to find, pretty much flowing. Also a threat, that will most probably be your first top move, basically first one or the second move, something like that. Whereas sometimes there are positions which are good, but you need to find some unconventional move, and this is not like that. Live board. अच्छा, अभी है ना? So sorry. Rook d8, knight b7. This was the variation I was trying to show. No, not this one. I was trying to show bishop e5, rook c8, knight b7, bishop takes a6. And then I was showing that the rook cannot defend the knight and you lose a piece. So sorry for the blunder, but coming back to the screen, knight d8, we are at this position. 19th move is done. The board is so small. अच्छा ठीक है, यहाँ पे रुकते हैं. 21 moves to be made for Gukesh in 11 minutes. Slow and steady. He's getting like per move 30 seconds. That level of time pressure. Position under trouble. Pragg looks relaxed, though it is Pragg's move. He's thinking whether I should go bishop e5 or is there anything better. Maybe even rook d1, just simply bringing the rook also does well. Oof, this guy here created problems for life, yeah. Ryan says bishop e5 is relatively harder, rook c1 good too. Not really, because bishop e5, look at the variation. Wherever there is a forcing line, you want to calculate that first. This is how you solve studies, this is how you solve lot of problems, and you know that you quickly are able to, forcing lines are easy to calculate. So if you talk about bishop e5, then you see rook c8 as a first natural move. Only when you find that rook c8 has a problem, then you will go and say, okay, I have to consider a move like rook a8, and then you start considering, yeah. But for rook c8, because this bishop is already looking at the structure and there is a pin, I think such a tactic for Pragg would be quite easy to see. The point is whether he is going to be happy with this move rook 8, and now whatever he has to find in order to get some advantage, or sustain the advantage, this will be a question. Because how do you still improve the position? What do you do? Natural feels like bringing the rook to d1, or even bringing the bishop to f3. And the moment you bring the bishop to f3 to attack the b7 guy, what is Gukesh going to do? He's waiting for such opportunities. There's a reason why why he was trying to make something work out in the last few moves. One more time, I'm asking, if you are completely engrossed in this game, then you will easily find a move. Yes, Ryan has easily found a move. Also, Lahiru has easily found it. Ajay, well done. Knight is going to jump to c4, attack this guy here, take the bishop. We know that once the dark square bishop gets exchanged with this powerful knight, black is going to be very happy. So, this, what we are at, is pure chess analysis at night while all of you are doing some intense studying. क्या क्या सीख रहे हो, मतलब डेडली चल रहा है चैट में, लोग क्रेजी है बहुत ही. Dedicated people there. Watch Fabi's game because it is very exciting, says Irina. We'll look at it because there's a big reason also the game is going to impact this game, particularly for Praggnanandhaa. If he beats Gukesh and if Fabi draws, then Pragg is going to be live world number 3 in live ratings, which is going to be a big news and an amazing news for Praggnanandhaa. So yeah, knight d8. Let's quickly have a look at Fabi. Ooh, Fabi getting advantage. Yeah, Fabi getting slightly better. And time wise, it's okay. But okay, still anything can happen. The advantage, though slight edge, it's not yet clear. Quick roundup at Aronian. Now, Northerbeg has managed to equalize, but only through the engine. If I look at the position, it looks pretty intense with this bishop and some attack over here, this bishop over here. Okay, काफी complex. Anything can happen when Northerbeg is also playing. MVL, who was what? He had 1 hour more on the clock than Alireza, and Alireza, who is now down to 3 minutes, has to make 15 moves, has managed to equalize, and this is the position. Crazy हो जाएगा if Alireza draws against MVL after that whole 1 hour time difference. Unbelievable, yeah, unbelievable fight back. And Sam versus So Wesley. Okay, Sam has slight edge. Coming back to Pragg's game. And Anuj Sharma is super chatted. After white bishop a6, how about bishop b8? Then takes. And then bishop takes bishop. Oh, while threatening rook a1. Were you by chance talking about bishop e5, rook c8, knight b7, bishop a6, bishop b8? So there is a counter attack. Very good suggestion, because if I take here, then blunder, I'll be a piece down. Wow, very good question here. And actually only one move will help white, and that move is white to play, guys. बहुत अच्छा सवाल. है. Oops. Oh, okay, it was a tough question, and I did not think that we'll get too many answers, but we did get already 13 people answering. Sachin, August, Sambarta, Abhishek, Irina, Swamika, Neeraj, Denver, Kenson, and Satyaj. क्या बात है? Amazing, 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 amazing. We have this move Bishop D4, and once again वो रहता है ना लाखों, क्या रहता है वो, लाखों दुआओं की दवा. ठीक है, मेरा माइंड नहीं चल रहा है, ये सब थॉट्स, ये सब कोट्स नहीं आ रहे. बट द पॉइंट इज, वेर एवर देर इज दिस क्वेश्चन, डबल अटैक हो या काउंटर अटैक हो, तो वहां पे यू हैव टू नॉट मिस अ काउंटर अटैकिंग मूव until you're giving a threat, until you can attack something in your opponent's position. You have to keep calculating, because when you're attacking, it's like a forcing move, right? You are forcing him to either defend or face that threat with something. So that's where the calculation is considered as a forcing, and you cannot just break it midway. तो वहाँ पे कंटिन्यू करते रहना है until your calculation ends with there is no attack, anyway. तो वैसा वाला ध्यान रखना. So bishop d4 is a good move, and that is how white is able to defend. But a great question, yeah. And knight d8, Pragg down to 30 minutes. How long has he been thinking? 10 minutes. Pragg is thinking for 10 minutes. Ramandeep has asked, how about this? Bishop e5 rooks. Okay, let's see this. काफी सवाल है सबके मन में. मारा मारा, ये मारा, rook d8. But what is happening? So if I take on b7, you have no threat. There is no mate. There's a rook defending the back rank. So doesn't work. Where is Sagar Shah Amruta? He is sleeping. Guna Sentinel is asking, Amruta, can you smell a win here or a draw? No, I think looking at this position and also the trajectory for Pragg, the way he has been playing in this year, not just this year, but also in general, his control over his preparation, and then I've seen him keeping time for himself, that extra time, but using it very wisely. Even if he's using it a lot, the idea is that he doesn't want to mess up, he doesn't want to give the chance. Also, we all know, like, of course, the players also know that Gukesh is very good at making comebacks. Sometimes, yes, there is some subconscious thing which is created, that you have to not let him make a comeback, and that's where Pragg is also using his time well to make sure that he is not entering into such variations which gives the highest practical chances for Gukesh. This is what he's trying to avoid, and in that respect, the time he's using is very, very wisely, and I doubt here if such a position can get messed up, yeah. For white, I very much doubt it. Like, as of now, if you ask me to predict based on the position, I would say 90% for white, the winning chances. Tech Titan says, hello, I'm from India, but currently in Riga, Latvia. Right now it's 11 p.m. here. Wow. Actually, Riga, they have a tournament, right? In Latvia every year. Have you ever played that? Mohit says, ma'am, a person becomes depressed after thinking too much. It's actually true in life. If you overthink about something and then you feel at the end of it, कितना सोच रहा हूँ मैं, मतलब कितना सोचूंगा, एंड देन यू स्टार्ट डाउटिंग सो मेनी थिंग्स, that why, because then you already know by the time that there could be so many various possibilities, so many different approaches, not and so many of them are even you feel that they're all okay, so that does make it happen. So definitely true, बहुत ज़्यादा तो सोचना नहीं है. In fact, thoughtlessness is also something which helps you to make good decisions. They are not doing this year. Oh, quite sad. They don't have money to finance it. Yeah, Riga Open. In fact, one time we were also looking at, we wanted to play there, but the calendar, it did not fit in the dates. I think it was back in 2016-17 where we were looking at. Samir says office meetings all day, chess streams all night. भाई सोते कब हो? Mehul is saying watching from Norway. You guys are great. Amrita and Sagar love your PJs, by the way. Arey, thank you. Norway में तो I bet you would have seen Magnus a number of times, or maybe you would have visited the Norway tournament. It was so epic, no, this year. Okay, Pragg down to 25 minutes from around 45 minutes. Time gap down to 15 minutes, but with a steady advantage in hand. If you look at the body language, does look like Gukesh is. You know, you will never find him like he's given up. He's calculating, he's trying to find ideas. It does feel like that he is in trouble, no doubt about it. But what is Pragg thinking? Because if he did not make the move bishop e5 quickly, he might be even thinking of rook d1 ideas. Also, there's a move which is suggested by the engines, which is e4, but I think I don't know how easy it is to play e4, because when you know that your rook can come to the open file, then pushing the pawn at least doesn't make much practical sense. But yeah, very creative. Watching from America. Yeah, I think for all the people who are in US, the time works very well, right? Because it is afternoon, or maybe not, because in afternoon generally everybody, no, not everybody, but the people who have to go to office, uh, in the evenings they would get free, but depending on the profession. But for others, I think if there is work from home and all, I don't know how it works in general, but it would be afternoon time might be better. Summer holidays. Array. Watching from San Francisco in lunchtime, says Abhishek. Oh, yaar, San Francisco is such a beautiful place. I'm glad we visited it. It is too good. On one day we walked like 18 kilometers. So we walked like we were at this from Pier 39 to Golden Gate. Watching from Varanasi, watching from Zambia. Okay, now people, guys, where are all of you from? Just except for Mars and Jupiter and Saturn geography का planets मत बताओ. Just where are you from? Which town? Forget about the country. Let's talk about the town. Arey Amol, so nice of you. Thank you. Japan, it is one aim. Oh, he goes bishop e5 while all of you are sharing which place you all are from. Pragg has gone bishop e5 and instantly Gukesh goes rook 8, which means that he had seen what happens for rook c8. So they both are tactically very, very alert. Quickly played by Pragg once more and he gets up from the board. That's slightly a psychological thing as we've discussed again and again, but Gukesh has to figure out what to do for the move e4. You know, this is a move we were discussing a while ago, and actually Pragg playing this move brilliant. I would say this move kind of, it's like putting the stamp on the paper saying that white is going to win. It was the best move. And how is, imagine you have controlled the square on d5 for the knight. You look at that first. You have not got tempted to play rook d1 and bring your rook on the open file and allow the knight to go to d5 over here and then say कि okay फिर मैं d4 e4 खेलता हूँ. That would have given some slight chances for black to come back, where the knight shifts to a better place from b6 to f6. So what Pragg did was really brilliant to first stop the knight from getting activated to d5. Look at this. Knight d5, knight c4, both are covered. Knight cannot go back to d7. Knight cannot go to a4. Suddenly the knight on b6 is like, karu to karu kya main? It just doesn't work. It's like he went to do engineering. Then he realized he's not liking it. Now he wants to do graphic designing. But then सीखना तो पड़ेगा, टाइम तो लगेगा. So e4 played by Praggnanandhaa. Guys, this is very difficult for Gukesh to make a comeback. Caruana watching the game here. I don't know if he's aware that if Caruana doesn't win, then Pragg will become world number 3. Not sure. Watching while driving a Kraken wagon. Manipal Hostel, Haryana, Naka, Stockholm, Sweden. Japan, Germany, Palghar, Nagpur, Mozambique, Ireland. Oh my god. What is this place? Kaiserslautern, Germany. I don't know. I don't think I pronounced it correctly at all. Ranchi, Khulna, Pretoria, says Abraham. Bremen. Wow. All those who are in at least until 10th standard can definitely tell your parents ki, my geography is improved when I go to the streams. And all those who are into chef and all, I think you'll get to know a lot of new dishes here when people share what did they have for dinner and all. Watching from Budapest is lucky, yeah. अरे घाटकोपर से कौन है? Okay. अमरावती, नाशिक, Germany. Too good. मजा आया. I enjoy interacting with you guys. You have so much to share. And there is so much, it reminds that when you are, even this simple thing for a few minutes. Harshit buys heart, says Neeraj. क्या बात है. You kind of understand that sometimes we kind of forget, yeah, we're looking at chess and everything. So many people are also watching, but we forget that we all are at different places and we are kind of sharing something common together. We're kind of enjoying something common together. But then we are all at, somebody is at Nashik, somebody is studying for NEET, somebody is having pav bhaji, and at the same time, the common bonding is to watch chess together. तो सही है, too good. ओ हर्षित भाई इन द चैट, अरे क्या बात है. अभी अभी एक तो चैट मिसेस यू लाइक एनीथिंग हर्षित भाई. व्हाट्स द रिकैप सो फार? फर्स्टली वेयर आर यू? You know that anytime you want to join, you're welcome, but of course you are at a holiday. I don't know whether you've reached Austria, but not disturbing you. But if you want a link or something, batana mujhe. The recap is Pragg has played brilliantly. I think the opening went very well for him. And then he landed up in a situation where, I mean, Gukesh took a lot of time. There was almost a 45-minute gap between Pragg and Gukesh's this thing. Plus, Pragg had a slight initiative. Gukesh thought a lot since the opening. I don't know. It was Nimzo Indian and why he was thinking. Definitely, he has good reasons, but it did not work out for him. And Pragg right now is finding some amazing moves, using his time wisely. Gukesh down to 6 minutes, 20 moves to be made, and in big trouble. I don't think this can be saved. That's the update. Pragg Endgame Maestro. Yes, absolutely, that's the update. Neeraj in the chat is saying, I miss you. Sunil is like, met Sagar Bhai during Vegas, clicked some pics, but forgot to take his phone number. Miss him today for this nice game. I agree. Arey. कहाँ हो हर्षित भाई, and what's happening? Please give us some update from your end also. People in the chat are like, so many of you guys miss you. हर्षित भाई हो जाए chat में. Anuj Sharma super chats, divided by place, united by chess. Ooh, by the way, Harshagra. Hashtag Harshagra. समझा नहीं वो, but yeah. How is your vacation going on, sir? इतना respect हिमांग भाई. Oh, you are at Budapest. I'm enjoying Budapest. Did you visit that bridge? But I also believe you would have played in Budapest number of times, right? हर्षद भाई लेजेंड है. अमृता भाई, उनको रिस्पेक्ट तो देना ही है. बात सही है, बात तो एकदम ही आई अग्री. हर्षित को सर तो बुलाना तो पड़ेगा. लिंक भेज दो, आई कम फॉर फ्यू मिनट्स. अरे थैंक यू. Guys, your messages of missing him really helped. So thank you. हर्षित भाई जब भी किधर भी रहे बट चेस देखते हैं तो यू कैन सी दैट ही जॉइन्स अस. कुछ नहीं तो एटलीस्ट फॉर सम टाइम, सम मोमेंट्स. एंड दैट इज हिज लव फॉर चेस. भेजा. बट आई विल जस्ट प्रिपेयर. ओ रेडी है सब. सागर ने बढ़िया किया है सब कुछ. Ooh, yeah, maybe something happened right now while I was just sending the link. We will be, like Sagar says, we will have a grandmaster to explain the moves. अनलेस हर्षित भाई ने धोखा दिया है तो बात अलग है. नहीं तो बुडापेस्ट में सडनली उनका इंटरनेट ही चला गया है. सोचो, अपन इधर वेट करेंगे. बट लेट्स सी, ही विल जॉइन अस. अरे इधर भी मेरे को तैयारी करके रखती हूँ जूम की. ठीक है, हो जाएगा फटाफट. Saran Srinivasan says, following these both for the past 4 years, Pragg hasn't won over Guki in classical over these years. Ooh. Power is saying, people in Haryana love you and Sagar Bhai so much, you must visit once. Oh, Haryana mein, yeah, there are not much tournaments like कम होते हैं, but we will try definitely. Okay, last few moves, guys. I just want to take you through. E4 ko bishop b8 was played by Gukesh, but he took like 6 to 7 minutes. He came down to 4 minutes here. He challenged his bishop. And now for Pragg, the decision is whether he wants to exchange the bishop or whether he moves it back. Defending it would be doesn't look good. F4 doesn't look good. So that would be the question. Taking the bishop back, taking the bishop on b8. Both these moves are good. If he plays any of them, Pragg will be in a very good position. Harish Chandra is saying Pragg is at 99.8 accuracy, crazy for 21 moves. No, I think the way he's playing is very clean. Absolute clean game over here. ज्वाइन करोगे और मेरा ये नहीं रहेगा तो फिर मिस्ड कॉल देना. हर्षित, आई थिंक अंटिल नाउ यू मे नॉट हैव ज्वाइन, बट just in case I miss and I'm on the board wala window, then I may not get to know. Bishop d4 to keep the bishop pair, says Abhinav. Yeah, guys, what will you do? Will you exchange? Do you feel more comfortable exchanging the bishop? You feel more comfortable to keep more pieces on the board? Also, Pragg down to 18 minutes. No matter what, even if you look at it that way, in 20 moves for Pragg, he has to make 18 minutes. In 18 minutes, he has to make 20 moves. But the only thing is, when your opponent is in much more grave time trouble, it feels that you have a lot more time. अभी अगर bishop c3 खेले तो suddenly position is equal. Exactly, bishop c3 or bishop b2, if you go back, then black is back. And why is black back? It's a tough move, very very tough move. I would have said that I do not expect you to find it, but this time I will say that I expect you that you should try and find it, because a grandmaster is going to be joining us, and let him see that you all have the capability to find such a move. You have few suggestions over here. Okay, guys, those who said knight a4, Harsh bhai, I think you forgot about your knight. The move is, yes, bishop d6. Hridayanshi, chess lover, Neeraj, Minakro, Sachin, kya baat hai? That's the good move. Bishop d6. Once again, the idea is that you want to get rid of your opponent's most powerful piece. Usko hata do. So bishop d6. You are attacking this guy and asking him, by either you go back or I am just gonna exchange you. I don't want you on the board, and that's why bishop d4 ko the same question is, what is the problem if bishop d6? And yahan pe there is a very big problem and very clear problem. White to play. Let's try to find this final one. लशाज प्लेसेस, मुझे इस ट्रैप के बारे में पता है. कुछ लोग शादी के उम्र पे है लेकिन माइंड में स्टडी सॉल्व कर रहे थे. यू मीन चेस स्टडी, राइट? Divine is asking, how do I start professional chess at a college? I'm a college student. Can you ask that question in some time? Again, we have this answers over here. Knight b7, Ryan, Divyanshu, Aran, Abhinav, Ankit, Nat, Deepak, Libin, Pavan, and Parda. That's the right move. Knight takes b7, and again you see there is a shot coming at the b7 pawn. मतलब वो इतना weak हो गया when this bishop was gone कि उसके ऊपर मतलब बहुत ध्यान देना पड़ रहा है in every aspect. So bishop d4 and you take the b6 bishop b6 knight in a disco, and that's why it's not working, and that's why the move bishop d4 is helping you. You could also take on b8 and say that I am okay with this exchange. I am bringing back my rook on the open file, getting in on d6. ठीक है, यहाँ पे f4, e5, maybe bishop f3. The whole technical endgame, and Pragg is very good at such kind of positions. So bishop d4, knight c8 is played, and Pragg goes rook d1, and it's a quite an unfortunate position for Gukesh to have the rook, bishop, and the knights on the last rank. Look at it; it's very like suffocating. Yeah, for black, it's such a helpless position that how do you get rid of it? Such non-peace activity. I mean, कोई activity ही नहीं है यहाँ पे. देखो ना क्या करेगा black. It's super sad. ऐसा position है. Like I think normally even when you want to make a comeback, you constantly, though you may have a worse position than this, but you have some ideas, you have some counter attacks, you have some targets at least, that okay, opponent goes wrong over here, there is a race, he misses a move, and then maybe I have some chances to get back, or something where the king is weak. कुछ तो ऐसा रहता है, something where the pieces are hanging, कुछ crazy calculation हो सकता है, or to find only moves. But यहाँ पे literally it seems that black is almost gone. In fact, I don't even think that the +2, which is the assessment by the engine, it's way more. It's way more in a practical sense for white. So Pragg clearly better. Gukesh, I don't know, with the move number 23rd and with 2 minutes on the clock and with such a position, whether there is any scope to fight back. लाइव बोर्ड ही तो है ना ये. दिस इज द लाइव बोर्ड गाइज. हेलो, वेट अ सेकंड. हेलो guys, Harshit is joining us. I did admit him in this room, but maybe he's still connecting to the audio. We'll wait. हाँ, वो गलती से मुझे लगा कि he had joined, so I will kind of. Oh, Joydev is saying watching on St. Louis Chess Club live stream now. They are showing live board. This is the live board, no? 1 second, guys. What is the confusion here? ये नहीं है क्या? Oh, sorry, cannot join. अच्छा, got it. So he had joined and okay, got it. ठीक है. No problem, Harshit bhai. Don't worry. Thanks for dropping in. Anyway, you have the link. कभी भी मन करे तो, but मज़ा आया. Chat में भी थे आप. I think people got to say hi to you. That was cool. Let's get back to the position, guys. This live board का timer. Oh, timer is. I understand what the problem is. I just have to click over here. Bishop d6 played. Yeah, that's what Gukesh did. In any case, you just want to get rid of the knight in whichever way. And Pragg, Pragg feeling quite relaxed. कोई टेंशन ही नहीं दिख रहा है उसके first round. And you know, even sometimes when you are having a better position, sometimes it happens ulta that you start feeling nervous. But looking at Pragg, it doesn't feel at all that he is nervous. He's even thinking about any result. I don't think he's even thinking that he's better, or he just right now focused on what's the next best move. 16 moves in 30 seconds. 1 minute for Gukesh. Too less of a time for such a position. But what's the best move for Pragg over here? Oh, wow. Really? Man. Okay, disco to hai. But look at it. It's not just disco, guys. It's going to be like double disco. ये मैंने बहुत कम बार देखा है. Double disco. It's the time to disco. Not just disco. Can you find it on the main board? Oh, yes. Yes. Bishop e5. Look at this. Such a cool disco. यहाँ पे नहीं है. मतलब if you take here, actually I am wrong. So it's a disco plus spin. So rook d8 आ रहा है. So bishop e5 would be a very powerful move for black. He has to go bishop e7, defend this thing knight, and then comes bishop c7 d8. वापस attack हो चुका है. Every move white is threatening something. Every move black has to defend, and you cannot keep doing for a long time when you have 1 minute on the clock. Will Pragg find bishop e5, which is the most powerful move, because he can also be tempted to go e5. Hello, Harshit bhai. Oops.
Hello?
Yes. Hi, Harshit.
Yogi, I'm in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. कहाँ पे है वेटिंग रूम? अच्छा, जोक किया था क्या उसने? बट मुझे दिख ही नहीं रहा है वो. ओ, यहाँ पे. Did I blunder? I can. Okay, now I've admitted him.
Hello.
Oh, was that a joke that you are not coming?
Yes.
Oh no, अरे यार, मैंने कितना टाइम वेस्ट किया फिर तो.
How's it going? It's very important position. बाद में बात करते हैं क्योंकि 1 minute for Gukesh.
Absolutely, I'm just setting up the camera. Yeah, this looks fine. Yes, let's go. We are at this position. I'm getting the board. Shall we go for bishop d6 के बाद? What move, Harshit, you are tempted, and can you just explain a bit?
एक second, I cannot see the position yet. I'll just
Wait.
check on DChess.
Here you go. Can you see it now?
Not yet, but it's fine. I can just use leeches.
Oh, virtual camera is on. But yeah, okay.
Guys, we will get to talk about what I'm up to, but I'm very excited to follow the game right now. Bishop e5, bishop e7 on the board.
Yes, Harshit. Abhi, this position, would you call it winning for Pragg, or would you call it there is still some hope for Gukesh? This is the big question.
I mean, it's very forcing because after bishop c7, isn't black losing the b7 pawn?
You can't move the knight.
I
Yeah,
don't see a defense. Knight hila to b7 pawn is hanging. If the knight goes to a7, rook d7 is going to jump in.
devastating, no?
Yeah. And all of this happened from a seemingly equal endgame. Praggnanandhaa managed to outplay Gukesh. Excellent play by Praggnanandhaa.
Dude, did you see the opening?
I just saw it right now briefly. He played a very harmless opening, like going into this end game. And maybe he had something like he had a very small idea that he had prepared, but it seems to be working very well for him. And I have a feeling that Praggnanandhaa is going to win the first game against Gukesh. And Praggnanandhaa in general used to always get like these fighting crazy games against Gukesh. If you remember in the candidates, complete chaos on the board. This time I think Praggnanandhaa decided that kuch to simple khelte hai, and it has been working quite well for him.
Exactly. I think he got into this thing where Gukesh did not get a chance to create this kind of counterplay, the kind of positions which he likes. And somehow Gukesh took a lot of time in opening. It was a simple Nimzo. Maybe that is not what Pragg plays usually, allowing it that. So he took a lot of time, and they had a 45-minute time difference at a very early stage. Pragg really, like, he did not let it go, the initiative.
Incredible. And now he has 12 minutes. He's still trying to figure out this move bishop to c7 right now. I guess that rook d7 is also tempting for sure.
But it's not
Why is
in
rook d7
computers.
not winning also?
Oh, it is better. It is decent enough, but he plays. Pragg goes bishop c7, and he has
Oh,
been finding all the best moves.
too good, Pragg. Too good.
No, it is very good. Chat is saying Pragg's accuracy is 99.8% today. Oh, he goes knight c6. He's given up the b7 pawn. But what happens if you pick that up?
Knight b7, I think Gukesh is banking on this move rook to a7, Amruta.
Oh,
I think this is what Gukesh had calculated, because now if the knight moves, the c7 bishop is hanging, and it feels as if it's not so easy to defend both these pieces. But I have a feeling that perhaps white could just retreat with his bishop back to something like g3.
rook b7.
And after rook b7, I think we have bishop takes a6. Because now the rook cannot move anywhere defending the c8 knight, and white is just up a pawn. 2 pawns actually.
Yeah, this has been constantly irritating. Knight b7, bishop e6. I don't know how many times such ideas were coming in since this bishop is gone from c8. So it was doing an important role. Also over here, there is another good move for Pragg. He could continue with rook c1 as well, attacking the knight. And this
Ooh,
is also quite
ooh,
winning for him.
that's a very powerful. But if knight d4, Amruta, 1 second.
Where?
After rook
Hmm.
c1, knight d4 looks a bit scary, no?
Yeah, you have to go back. And then, yeah, and then
You
what
have
if
to
rook
understand that.
b7? Yeah, it may
And
not
then
be
still
that.
the same point. Bishop takes
Oh,
a6. Oh no, bishop e5.
no, bishop
Wow.
a6 is a
That's the move.
mistake. Correct. Rook
Yes,
a7, and then you are kind of, if you take here, end में knight e2 check. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा
exactly.
careful. Maybe such ideas, maybe Gukesh is banking on, because literally there was no counterplay. When you have pieces like these, just 2 moves ago.
Exactly. Guys, for everyone joining in, I think this is the first round of Sinquefield Cup that's happening in St. Louis. Gukesh played in the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz before this event. It was a mediocre event. I wouldn't say it was a great event. I wouldn't say it was a bad event as well. Now they're playing the classical segment. Praggnanandhaa and Gukesh are the two Indians participating. पहले ही मैच में दोनों का मैच लग गया and Pragg is on the verge of winning the end game.
You know, the way Pragg has played in the first round, no, I mean, I have seen him playing so well for sure, but today with Gukesh, with the white pieces, he's literally used everything, like used his time well, used his preparation well, used his calmness well. He was almost not on the board. Whenever he would make a move, he was not on the board for like half an hour because Gukesh was thinking so much.
Now, Pragg has 8.5 minutes. Amruta, you were covering this game for so long, and I think it takes the pawn on b7. I think you have witnessed Praggnanandhaa being in the best shape of his life. g5 played by Gukesh, but now white is up a clean pawn with a bishop pair advantage as well. Let's not forget that white has two bishops. Black has given up his light squared bishop. All of this combined should be an easy conversion for someone like Pragg.
Can I ask you a question? That because we are on move number 26th, okay, Pragg also has to make 15 moves and he has 7 minutes on the clock. Is this going to play any role?
It would have played a role if Praggnanandhaa was the one who had less time. But Pragg has more time and a winning position.
That's true. And I think Gukesh has been having load time since a long time. So that pressure is also has mounted on him. I
You know,
don't.
in this position, I was kind of tempted by playing this move pawn to g3. The point is that I want to always have this luft for my king on g2. Secondly, I was not as tempted by this move pawn to h3 right now because I want my king to be on g2, which is closer to the center, than on h2, which is one move farther away.
Yeah, I like your move g3, just calm, and also asks Black a question ki, what do you have here? Okay, maybe the same thing if rook a7, then you have rook c1. But then why not rook c1 directly? Or that is also possible, yeah?
Rook c1 directly also a good move, Amruta. But I mean, you know, I did not want
those
to miss any
ideas.
second of this match. It's Praggnanandhaa who has been having the best. It's basically like Gukesh had the best year 2024. He won basically everything. 2025, on the other hand, Praggnanandhaa has been winning absolutely everything. Every tournament he participates in, he's someone to be afraid of. Now we have this match where Gukesh is the world champion, Pragg in a very hot streak. Seems like the hot streak is going to continue even against the world champion.
Oops, so sorry, I got lost in the end, Harshit Bhai, because it is 2:20 a.m. and the chat is saying that Ali Reza was having 10 seconds. So I just got lost. Normally, I'm very focused. You must agree to that. Yeah. So
no, I was just saying like Pragg is in such a hot streak that even against the world champion, it's going to continue. I don't think Gukesh is going to be able to stop the streak of Praggnanandhaa this year.
No, not this one. And also for Pragg, it means a lot to beat Gukesh in a classical game because it's not happened at least recently for many years, as somebody in the chat mentioned, for 4 years. And the fact Himank mentioned that if Pragg beats Gukesh today and if Fabi draws, then Pragg would be third in the live rating list, world number 3.
Wow,
which is huge, yeah.
Pragg inching in, it's huge. He's inching towards 2800. Only 2 Indian players ever in the history of chess have been able to achieve it: Viswanathan Anand and Arjun Erigaisi.
Absolutely. So, take the bishop f1 played by Pragg. He just such calm moves. Like sometimes it's annoying for your opponent because it doesn't give any chances.
Exactly. Very prophylactic by bishop f1. Let's go full screen. Less than 2 minutes for Gukesh in this position right now. I am sure he knows that he is in a really tough spot right now. He's trying to not show his emotions. but I'm sure he's nervous.
Ooh.
1.5 minutes now for him. How can he find some counterplay? Knight on c8, not really doing a lot. a5 maybe at some point, just trying to break open the position, but then b5.
I just
This
don't like
is
this knight and a rook and they never got a chance. You know, it's like life में कोई opportunity नहीं मिला.
Pragg very confident there. He's leaning forward in his chair. Clear sign in body language of confidence.
Why do you think later you can check? But I was wondering that Gukesh consuming so much time. Is there a possibility that he was playing rapid and blitz in the 2 days
By the way,
ago? Yeah.
look at Gukesh's face. He was like a bit flustered with himself. He's like, "Ye kya ho raha hai? Like, I'm losing the first game. How is this happening?" He now also recognizes that he only has 30 seconds on his clock. I did hear your question, Amruta. I will come back to that, but 30 seconds for him right now. Needs to make a move.
Move number 27th. 20 seconds.
Man,
Today Ali Reza managed to make 30 moves.
G4.
Okay, more like a
Not
desperate.
sure
More
what
like
that move achieves.
he's just waiting and he's just asking Pragg that what are you going to do? Because I think for Gukesh, what can he do? He can't move the knight. He has rook a7, but then he's calculated something for that. The one which we had.
Exactly.
करेगा क्या?
Maybe if Gukesh thinks that he has no good move and he plays this move
Yeah.
G4, it might mean that white can just take his time and play this move pawn to G3. Because the last move of black does indicate that he does not really have a very strong idea.
But do you want to now play g3 and give this like any possibility of counterplay? Not really, yeah? Wow.
Yeah. Also,
Unbelievable.
very interesting idea in these setups, Amrita, is to play H3, provoke black into taking her pawn on H3 and making them think कि मैं वापस मारने वाला हूँ. But after GH3, we'll actually play G3, Amruta.
Oh, this is such a cool, yeah, very cool. This one. You can play g3 and then you take this pawn later. Wow. Wow, epic. Nice
I think these
concept, Harshad, by that one.
definitely two ideas that Pragg will be thinking about right now. But also, Pragg has now dropped down to less than 4 minutes, and you are asking me whether the time is going to play, is going to have an impact in the outcome of this game. It potentially could. So far, Pragg is in control, though.
I think so. That Pragg, I mean, find any move, no? Normally, like, there is one move which is bad or a blunder or something. But any natural move over here doesn't look like a blunder or anything. Like, even a move like e5, yeah? You want to push the pawn and it's decent. I don't know if rook d7 is decent. Yeah.
It's
g3
good.
was decent. It's hard to
All
find a
moves
bad
are
move.
decent. Yeah. Guys, P in the chat if you think Pragg is going to win, and G in the chat if you think Gukesh will survive. It's PG, Amruta.
Utkarsh is saying this could be a draw if Pragg makes just one mistake after the time increment after 40 moves. कैसे भाई कोई मतलब I don't think there is any chance. You know, normally I'm quite optimistic, but यहाँ पे the you need some counterplay. यहाँ पे it felt very helpless for black.
And so many P's in the chat, Amruta. Pramod Eswara, I see. Tuchin, Utkarsh Gupta with a P. Supravat Roy, many P's. A few G's in there as well, but I think more people think that Praggnanandhaa is going to win this game. And look at Pragg. He's like, let's go, let's go. He also needs to, calm himself down, because winning against the world champion is definitely not an easy emotion to control.
That's true, but at the same time, you know, like because they have been there since childhood, sometimes you don't think like you playing against a world champion for that moment in that perspective. You just it's your childhood rival kind of a thing. So it's quite different, no? That way.
That's true. It might help him that, he has played him before since a young age. But Gukesh, always a tough competitor for Pragg. He does play rook c1. Great move there, hitting the knight on c6. Knight d4 must be played by Gukesh now, right?
Yeah, he has to play knight d4. I don't know if this g pawn will help him in any way, but even the back rank, there is no way you are able to get any tactical ideas for that.
Knight d4, he's still thinking. He's down to 20 seconds. He has to go knight d4. Let's go,
Why?
Gukesh.
Yeah, why is he thinking? Because maybe knight a7.
Yes, he goes for it.
Okay.
No, he goes for it.
Okay, what now?
Bishop e5, I feel, is very tempting to the naked eye. If knight b5,
Decent.
potentially I was thinking to advance with a4. After bishop e5, knight b5, a4.
Acha, यहाँ पे knight e. Okay, got it. That looks like a
This is
good
the
line. Forcing line.
hmm.
But maybe
Forcing
Pragg will
line.
not play something forcing, because if he has anything which will make Gukesh think with 44 seconds on the clock. Oh no, even Pragg is down to
Knights.
1 minute 33 seconds.
Ooh, this
Crazy.
is getting very interesting in terms of the time situation. The position on the board completely winning for Pragg. He's a pawn up knight c5, Amruta. I like this move also.
कि इधर हो गया है, the job is done, now come back. Vacation हो गया
Back to
ऑस्ट्रिया का,
pavilion.
now come back and play
अरे.
here.
I think he will do it.
Oh, a4.
No, a4 immediately.
What? Okay, what is
b4
happening?
का pawn मर नहीं रहा है.
Exactly, I thought so. Bishop b4 को what's his idea?
कुछ तो सोचा है उसने क्रेजी. बिशप e5 और नाइट ही ट्रैप कर रहा है d4 का.
Oh, नहीं. अच्छा, ये भी चल रहा है.
Pragg.
Bishop e5 भी is a good move. And there's another one.
अच्छा, rook c4. Oh,
Double attack. Wow, crazy tactic. 17 seconds for
see,
Guki.
oof. He plays a f6. Ah,
I think he's just
don't
waiting
think
to
he-
get over the time pressure, but how many moves he will have, right? To wait, and it's not gonna help.
rook c4. He wants to go e5. Ah, I see. He wants to prepare e5 right now. That's his concept.
And at the same time, e5, the strength of e5 also would be reduced. I thought, but the engine says that for white, e5 is the best move.
Yes, e5 looks very logical to me because you want to stop black from going e5 and cementing that knight on d4. Pragg down to less than 1 minute on his clock himself now. He goes for e5.
Oh, finds the best move.
Sensational chess played here so far by Praggnanandhaa, giving no chance to Gukesh.
Absolutely. The bishop is
Gukesh
doing
is
a
tricky
great
though.
job. Gukesh
You
is
know,
tricky
Gukesh
for
is-
sure, but he needs piece activity.
Lara, egg piece, 97. He's trying to bring that piece in the game. He's still,
Yeah.
somehow trying to find some chance.
No, I
It
would be
wouldn't
completely
be-
shocked if at all there is any flip over here, because I think this middle game I was saying that it's very difficult to make a comeback in such a situation. So I would be shocked, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at Pragg, he looks like he's right now the man of conviction. Nothing
Yeah,
can
he
move
looks
him, you know?
determined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, now b4 is hanging. That's what people are saying. But right now,
White to play.
yeah, white to
And
play.
look at Pragg. He's like looking away from the board. He's trying to calculate some line there. He goes for something. He goes knight, bishop d6. Wow. Now he wants to exchange those bishops क्योंकि c8 का knight निकल गया, d6 का square खाली हो गया. He's played bishop d6. If black takes ed6, I don't think you can stop that d6 pawn from promoting.
Wow. Oh, but then what does this bishop do? Because if you go back, then there is knight takes,
And bishop e7.
rook takes. Yeah, you'll just win this also. A lot of weaknesses. 24 seconds for Gukesh. He goes knight c6. Defense.
Knight c6. So white can, if he wants, capture another pawn after bishop e7, knight e7, pawn takes f6.
Yeah, he's
But
winning a
then
pawn
knight
over there,
d5.
no? Knight d5. And then you also stop rook
30
c7.
seconds.
But
Let's
also
go,
there is
Pragg.
there is also b5. You simply attack the knight. Oh, I think that's
B5.
stronger according to the engines. That's the best move. b5.
Of course, he will play it, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Best move. Engine ka mat dega Amrita. Just wait for Pragg to make the move.
Yeah. Today he is playing like at another level of accuracy, guys. I don't know if Gukesh is only going to keep something like this idea in mind. कुछ तो back rank पे हो जाए, but looks unlikely.
Looks unlikely. And look at Fabi there, world number 2, watching the game between these two monsters, these two, gifted players from India. But it seems like after e takes d6, दो pass pawn है अभी white के पास, one on b5, one on d6. दोनों में से एक तो I think border cross कर लेगा.
That's true. No, the start would be an epic start for Pragg. It would be one of the cleanest game. It's gonna give a lot of confidence to Praggnanandhaa for the whole tournament, and Gukesh will also have to strike back in the second round.
Yeah, if he loses this game, he will have his work cut out there. He will need to, take more risks in order to get back in this tournament to have a shot at winning. ये तो सिर्फ पहला round is still long way to go, but the first round definitely influence your mood, influence the momentum quite drastically.
Absolutely. Knight e5.
95.
Okay, but what's the threat? Can you simply
B6?
not push? Yeah, so looks good. b6 looks good. But okay, is there anything over here? Knight f3 check. देखिए कुछ भी है क्या? थोड़ा ज्यादा हो रहा है
I
ना?
don't
Because
see it yet. B6, rook b8, rook c7, yeah?
5,500 people watching at 2:30
Guys,
AM.
do like the stream. If you are wanting more people to witness this epic encounter between Pragg and Gukesh, the most awaited encounter of this year.
This was actually for a classical game, Pragg versus Gukesh. Definitely very, very exciting. And Harshad bhai, you would have been maybe in US at this time. We thought earlier the stream would start at 1 AM, but it's right now and you are here with us. क्या बात है? Rook
I could
d1.
not miss this. He goes rook d1. Another good move, hitting the knight on d4. Because if the knight moves from d4, d7, I don't see how Gukesh can prevent losing a piece here. Gukesh shook his head there in frustration. I think he recognized that rook d1 was a fantastic move found by Pragg. He was hoping he didn't find it, but Pragg is in beast mode right now.
Absolutely.
Rook b8.
beast. And I also don't feel that Pragg down to 40 seconds, but it doesn't feel that there is a lot of pressure on him. Pretty chilled.
I think knight c5 should be good enough.
Knight c5, if rook b5, then you have d7.
No, then I have a ghoda. Oh, sorry, I have a oont or f1.
अच्छा ओह इसको भूल गई मैं बेचारा शांति में बैठा था. Okay, he goes back.
He goes for it. Also, knight b5, there is rook b1. Very important point.
Oh yeah, there is a pin here.
Praggnanandhaa, what a guy. He's been playing non-stop this year. He's showing no signs of getting tired. He's coming to every event as energized as you can ever see him.
And
I think we
and not
might
just
see-
that, between the tournaments, he's also doing some stuff. Oh, resignation over
Resignation.
there. Praggnanandhaa beats Gukesh in a classical game after many years, but what a clean game this was. Complete positional crusher, I would say.
Yeah, and the orbiters. Yeah, I thought that they put the kings in the middle, but that's not the case. As Pragg has won the game, The white king is on e4, the black king on d5. Gukesh losing the first game in the Sinquefield Cup. What a game, Amruta.
No, this was really a brilliant play by Pragg. I want to very quickly show some moments of the game. Harshit bhai. So Nimzo हुआ and यहाँ पे Gukesh started thinking. He took 8 minutes here because maybe he did not expect Pragg to go for something like this. Nimzo with e3 variation. So short castle, bishop d3, d5, and यहाँ पे भी he took another almost 10 minutes to take here. Bishop takes, bishop went back. He played this quickly. These few moves, takes.
Yeah, dc5. I think this was the key move in the whole game, especially because white could have just played a move like bishop back to a2 and or bishop to d3, and this would have been a very, very normal qgd kind of position. But he
Yeah.
takes on c5, exchanges the queens, goes into a slight, like very, very equal looking endgame. And
Yeah.
from this equal looking endgame, he manages to outplay Gukesh.
Yeah, because here, I think here the move I really liked. I don't know, matlab, maybe
b5.
it is preparation or not for white. Bishop takes c5 के बाद for white. You know what Pragg
For white,
played?
sorry. e4 or
No, he didn't play e4. E4, the problem was the knight was
knight
jumping
g4.
on g4.
So what did he do?
Then maybe it is preparation. Yeah, bishop e2. It was such
Yeah.
a classy move. It actually created a lot of practical problems. So it was like, okay, you look at the position, it feels equal, but it completely delusional. And then
Yeah.
from here, it all started knight c6, b4, and this was, according to me, a kind of critical situation for Gukesh. He had to go back to e7. He went to a7, and this bishop never ever really, got into action. यहाँ पे भी
And then
पूरा
95
यही है,
also
हाँ, बहुत
एकदम
सही था.
tactical alertness shown there by Pragg. And then knight d7, he got the bishop pair. And
Yeah.
I think knight b6 be not really, creating any threats.
Actually, according to the engines, knight b6 was still the best move because it was constantly creating knight a4 and sometimes with bishop f3, knight c4 ideas. But Pragg played knight c5, very good move. Rook b8, takes, everything was perfect. And even if there were these best moves, there was nothing that black could do, which means that it was already almost lost.
Perfect game by the
Yeah.
white pieces. I think that could be the description.
Yeah, very
Pragg playing
flawless.
the perfect game.
Absolutely. But क्या ही ये इसके बाद, okay, all the desperate attempts, but Gukesh did not get any, comeback moments. Not even for a fraction of a second he got that on time or on board. So Pragg, amazing player, brilliant.
Yeah. No, I was very happy to catch this game live with you, Amruta. I'll go back
Yes, but एक
to
minute
vacation
बताओ तो
mode
सही
for some
कहाँ पे
time.
हो? Where are you right now?
I'm in Budapest right now.
Wow, and how was the day today? Like, what did you do?
I traveled from Salzburg in
Uh-huh.
Austria. We took a train, a 6-hour train to Budapest, and we just came back from a very nice dinner, an Indian dinner from
Oh.
a restaurant called Bombay Budapest.
अच्छा नहीं याद नहीं है बट ये एवरीवेयर इंडियंस फाइंड इन द इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट ये तो पता है बट आपके बारे में नहीं सोचा था मैंने आई थॉट यू आर मोर ऑफ अ पिज्जा एंड पास्ता एंड
नहीं, पर मैं
बर्गर
अकेला नहीं हूँ ना. I have my whole family here, so but it's very nice because after a very long time I'm spending some time with them. So yesterday we went to a place called Hallstatt where like हम बोट से वहां पे गए थे बेसिकली. इतना ब्यूटीफुल सिटी है अमृता, पता है क्या ऑस्ट्रिया में, हॉलस्टाट करके. टू मच फन वहां पे.
हाँ क्या डिड यू पुट एनीथिंग ऑन इंस्टा आई वुड लव टू सी योर
हाँ.
फोटोज एंड दिस थिंग
Yes, I'll share it with you personally also.
हाँ
It was incredible.
और लोगों के साथ भी करो, सोशल मीडिया पे डालो सो दैट पीपल विल बी एबल टू
हाँ.
ट्रैवल. वी हैव लॉट ऑफ ट्रैवल फ्रेंड्स, ट्रैवल विद निखिल रोशन वगैरह. मजा आ जाएगा उनको देखने को. सो डेफिनेटली हैव अ
Definitely.
और कब तक हो? हाउ लॉन्ग आर यू देयर?
So I'm here for 3-4 days and then I'm playing the Graz Open. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm playing the Innsbruck Open. from the
अच्छा
23rd to 30th of August.
ठीक है टूर्नामेंट तो ढूंढ ही लिया मतलब सिर्फ
हाँ, और
छुट्टी
फिर
तो
आई हैव योर यहाँ पे कैमरा भी है मेरे पास एक, वो जो 7th कैमरा था वो मेरे पास है यहाँ पे, तो उससे मैं मेरा गेम्स रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ.
ओ रियली अरे
हाँ.
क्या बात है wow this is a great news guys Harshit is going to play a tournament and we are also going to get to see his games video games
Let's go.
मजा आएगा I'll tell Sagar tomorrow but अभी तो I don't want to disturb you रात हो गई रहेगी वहां पे यूरोप में you might be going
हाँ.
out or something pub
No, I'm
disco
going.
visco
I'm going to sleep. So it's 11 p.m. I'll get some
हाँ
rest.
ठीक है हर्षद भाई समझ
और
गए
मजा आया अमृता.
Thank you.
मजा आया. अभी मैं चलता हूँ. See you all. See you.
Bye. Oh goodness. Oh guys, that was so cool that Arshad joining us for the final moments of this epic game. We had brilliancy today. I would say that this was a brilliancy in many ways, from technical aspect to the positional aspect to the end game aspect. I mean the queenless middle game aspect. Till in the end, like so many moments were finding these tactics. So I would say this would be maybe one of the best games Pragg has played. Really good, and no chance for Gukesh, which is generally a difficult thing for a player. Many times he loses with some counterplay and things like that, and still fine, there's a fight. But this game, this was very smooth for White, very crushing from White side. So Gukesh will have to recover and he will have to strike back tomorrow. Like he will have to try to sustain to be there, but he's going to be playing with the white pieces. But for Pragg, it is an amazing start. He gains a lot of rating. What is his live rating? Let me just quickly check. 2700 chess for the updated rating, and Caruana is still playing. But in any case, if Pragg is playing in this form, then there is very less doubt that he's gonna be. There is no doubt actually that he will be reaching in this tournament. Who knows? Top 3, top 2, I don't know. 2784. Okay. What about Fabi? What's happening over there? Let's check that game. So we're not gonna be hoping for anything like whatever happens, because we should always hope that Pragg keeps doing well. Yeah, 2779 for Pragg, and Fabi is at 2784. Arjun 2776, Gukesh 2776, but I don't know if it is updated. I'll quickly go to the board. So this is, anyway, we'll have a roundup for other games also. So Fabi is looks equal according to the engine. They completed 41 moves, so it's gonna go a long game. I definitely like the position for Duda more than Fabi because of the pressure on B2, because of the center. But let's see what happens. But I like it for black more. Slight initiative, I like it for black. Gukesh is one. Oh, by the way, Aronian also beat Northerbeg. Wow. That was like, what happened? There was a blunder or what? Oh, look at this final finish. If you take over here, check, takes lot of pawns. Okay. So Aronian beat Northerbeg. So he begins the tournament with a great result. And MVL with Firouzja. Firouzja, how did he manage with that 6 minutes on the clock? That guy really insane. Yeah, this would be definitely one of the insane comebacks from Firouzja, and now he's holding this. It seems though white is a pawn up and MVL will try, but looks like Firouzja will manage. And Sevian versus Wesley, it's also equal. So yeah, guys, tomorrow Pragg versus Fabiano. Oh, that means if Pragg beats Fabi directly, like goes to anyway number 3. And Northerbeg versus Gukesh. Ooh, so today Northerbeg lost and Gukesh lost. And tomorrow they'll be playing with each other. Gukesh will be white, Naderbeg will be black. So, देखते हैं कौन सा. I think it's very important what opening they play, what kind of position they get into. Yeah, some people want to perceive in their own way. That is completely fine, guys. But 2784 is amazing. I do think maybe what is the possibility of Pragg actually in this tournament if he plays in such a form? Uh, what is Nakamura's rating? 2.8? Guys, do you remember? Deeptabrata says year of Pragg and Levon. It does seem like that. Would be interesting to see what happens between Pragg versus Levon and when are they playing? 2807. Uh-huh. Got it. Okay, that's kind of a lot. Yeah, 27798999. Okay. In a classical tournament, such a gain is very, very tough. Like, especially at this rating. I mean, yeah, Vincent did gain 21 rating in Chennai Open, which is too good. But it's very, very rare to gain so much rating. So, okay, but let's see if he is able to go to world number 3, and also, you know, you will need to sustain that, and then the published rating also will be world. Oh, that's a great chance for Pragg in this tournament. The way he is playing. So, dekhte hai. Guys, how many of you would be watching the live stream tomorrow? The question is, should we continue doing the live stream tomorrow? क्या लगता है? पढ़ते पढ़ते काम करते करते करेंगे क्या? Yes, please continue. With Sagar, yes, yes. Will Sagar join us? I'm not sure if he is able to stay up, he will join. If not, then he will sleep. I think he'll also have to prepare with his energy levels for Grand Swiss. Today we didn't also plan this way. We didn't know that there would be a stream. So रात के 10 बजे suddenly we get to know. So maybe tomorrow he will be able to join us for a longer time. But let's see. कैसा है? I definitely will not overstretch. Will there be Atti Mungi jokes tomorrow? I think Yoman will try. I think you have some good ones. You remember a lot of पुराने ones. Please continue. ठीक है चलो. So मिलते हैं कल. It's 2:49. Time to go to sleep, guys. Or maybe you guys will continue studying. So अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो. मज़ा आया. Take care. Bye bye. Ending the stream. Oh wow, there was also the poll was 50%. Ah, yeah, because the position also said that. So the people were right about the poll.